big hug.
Thank you, ally. Kill secure.
Hello and welcome back then, champions, to this ESL Go4Paladins Cup. It is the May Finals, and my name is HiResVox. I'm joined by none other to kick things off than Rainday. And Rainday, after a fantastic weekend of competitive Paladins previously, are you ready for what we've got in store today?
I am ready, Vox. I'm about to.
Oh boy. Lex, is that you?
You know, I gotta calm myself a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I got a little excited. But I am ready. I'm ready, man. We are excited for ESL. You know, community tournaments are the lifeblood of any good esport, and it's really, really exciting to see this all culminating in fantastic fashion today.
It certainly is, and we saw such fantastic games on the weekend in the official tournament. We're going to have an incredible set for you today as well. For those of you who may just be joining us for the first time, this is the May Finals for the Go4Paladins Cup. The ESL Go4Paladins Cup is a monthly repeating circuit featuring open qualifiers on every Thursday of the month, and then on the final Thursday of every month, we have our monthly finals, in which the top 8 teams by the cumulative point standings, the Go4 point standings, which teams will accumulate as they go through and participate in the qualifier cups, are invited into a top 8 single elimination tournament with a €500 cash prize pool. And we have a bracket ready for you as well. That is now up on your screen. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what teams will be fighting out today. So Evan, kicking things off, we've got 50 Shades of Snake, Zealous Esports, WASD Sports District 69, Burrito Esports and WLG, and Flashpoint Paladins versus Otter Esports. And just to give you a quick update on a few different team names which you may not be too familiar with, Otter Esports, formerly Moose Sports, so they've been picked up by a new sponsor there, so keep an eye on them. And you know, one of the
They love animals, man.
They do, they really, really do. I wonder what we're going to see next. If
I know, cat sports? What's going on, man?
Cat sports, dog sport. Are you a cat sports guy or a dog sports guy?
I'm a dog sports guy, unfortunately.
You're a dog sports
guy?
guy?
Cats are cool.
Show me some of my dogs in chat. But you know, after the performance of the weekend as well, I'm really interested to see how WASD Sports versus District 69 kicks off. But the first game that will be coming up on your screens in just a moment is, in fact, going to be something a little bit different. It's going to be Burrito Esports versus WLG. So let's go ahead and head over straight through to the map draft and see where we'll be playing today.
Today, there's so many opportunities for you know, these teams to make a little bit of a splash coming into the competitive scene. You know, what's exciting for me, looking at the top side of the bracket, D69 and 50 Shades of Snake, only one of them is getting to the finals. So this is a real opportunity for Burrito Esports, WLG, to come out of this, face either Flashpoint or Snake Sports, whatever they are, whatever animal they're deciding to be today. Otter Esports, and take it off. But, you know, first coming out, Ban, Serpent Beach, Bright Marsh. I'm surprised the Bright Marsh ban is in there, Vox. I think that's a map these teams want to play as much as possible right now, just to get it under their belt. But Frog Isle, decent choice. Very, very good map to know, especially if you're going to be facing either D69 or 50 Shades of Snake in the finals.
You know, it's one of those maps which both of them have demonstrated a huge amount of prowess, those top 2 teams within the European region, so making sure you're well versed on that is so important. Going back to that Bright Marsh ban, we've also seen the top teams in region really start to prefer Bright Marsh to play on, so I'm wondering if they're just eliminating that from the pool because they don't be expecting to play it. Further on in the draft as well, because this is ESL Paladins, we do have the full map draft available for you. Map number 2, which we'll definitely be seeing, will be Frozen Guard, and if we go all the way to 3 games, it will be Jaguar Falls. But regardless, folks, we're going to be kicking things off here in just a moment. Stay tuned, sit tight. We'll have the very first game of Burrito Esports versus WLG coming up on Frog Isle in just a couple of minutes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the ESL Go4Paladins Europe Finals. It's exciting stuff here on Frog Isle. It will be Burrito Esports versus WLG. We love gaming. So do I. Let's get into the action here because I love Paladins as well. For Burrito, it will be Simsolo, the Rogue Alchemist on Fuselage Drogos, Eagle-Eyed Kinessa for Slashwine, Pluck Makoa for Mad Egg, Ripen Gourd Maldamba for Sleepy, and Flux Generator Ruckus for Koa.
On the other side of things, it will be We Love Gaming. They have Surets on Mother's Grace Inara, Megiddo on Mortal Reach Ceres, Unlimited Power We Rock in the Accelerant Bomb King, Skoses on the Darkstalk Androxus, Sozidante on Acrobatics Pip. So we're seeing Acrobatics Pip come out here, and also notably as well, we're not seeing NTBs in the lineup for Burrito Esports. So they are playing with a sub today, if I'm not mistaken, and I wonder if this will have a big impact on their gameplay.
Going to be interesting. Always removing a player from the equation can be difficult. This Acrobatics Pip, though, let's talk a little bit about this. This guy's going to be using his weightless to actually double jump in the air. Not something we see very often, but gives him an unprecedented amount of mobility and height advantage over the team. And that seems to be working at a decent pace for their squad. WLG kind of taking control here, 27% on the point.
Now, what's really important about this Acrobatics Pip is that they're a fantastic piece of flank pressure against the Kinessa, which Burrito Esports have picked up. They're going to be able to traverse the backline quite easily. They've got to be careful of the Makoa, of course. They're going to be able to close the gap and just keep this Kinessa pinned down. Now, their accuracy is decreased whilst they're in the air, so they're not going to be as accurate firing down on their enemies. But if they manage to land an explosive flask slow first and can close the gap onto their enemies, it's going to be devastating. And so far, Burrito Esports have found no pressure on the objective. That's the first cap going through for WLG.
WLG have a fantastic draft right now. They've got Ceres, Bomb King, Inara, Pip, and an Androxus. I mean, this is a dream come true if I'm thinking. They've even got the pseudo healer into the Pip with the incredible ultimate pressure we have not seen since Inara has been first pick this last weekend. And so very interesting to see how this Volpine will continue to affect play. Throwing the healing potion onto the side, a lot of action happening in the corner. It's just seeming like Burrito can't get out of spawn. And this is not the Burrito we are used to seeing.
It certainly isn't. And Skoses as well is doing such a fantastic job here, just putting some pressure onto the Drogos consistently, making sure that anti-air potential is coming through. Fusillade Rocket's a big reversal too. They're going to escape for the time being, and I love that continual pressure, but Burrito Esports, they're starting to respond here.
Great stuff by the Fuselage Drogo. Simsolo realizing sometimes the only way to get through someone as tanky as Inara is just to output the damage, and that's what he's doing. 1275, a rocket hitting down on to Mother of the Earth there in the realm. And so with the Dragon Punch ready, minute and 18 seconds left for the push. It's stalled for just a moment, but that moment could end at any point in time when these ultimates start flying.
Oh, hold that thought. There's convergence coming through, Evan. Look at that. Two pulled in. There's a King Bomb as well. Is it going to find the damage? But Slashwine cleans up two on the back of that. Triple kill for the Kinessa on defense after the ultimate came through, looking for a Quadra. And that push was completely stumped off the back of some fantastic reactive play coming from the damage output of Burrito Esports.
That's what they have. They have damage. That's one thing you cannot take away from a Fuselage Drogos and an Eagle-Eyed Kinessa. And a Pluck Makoa on top of that. So they've got setup, they've got damage. Simsolo doing a great job holding his weight. And now Slashwine with the reduction of Skoses from the lineup, taken out by Simsolo, and Acrobatics Pip having a difficult time flanking as we would have anticipated. He's got a lot of free breathing room to just snipe from the back line.
And that's going to be so important as the payload push has been stalled out thoroughly at this point. 22 seconds left to go, and the Cursed Arm is going to try and kick things off. Skoses to the back line, looking for the damage on a Slashwine, has a reversal up, can't find the kill, still trying to stay alive, goes down as Simsolo there, but the push is continuing. Unlimited Power continuing to rip through the back line.
And this could be bad for Burrito. WLG finally have made the push. It's come a little late, but it hasn't come at the wrong time. In fact, could have been perfect timing. Go is going to have to get out here, but he may not have an advance ready. Simsolo with a rocket down onto the charge, and finally, Ruckus is here. He's got the repulsor field. He's also got the flux generator working to give him damage reduction. He will take down Mogito, and that's a healer down. It is up to Slashwine and the crew to try and defend this. Force the transporter in. This is not looking good, Vox.
Oh no, Quadra kill. That's going to be the payload push rolling through. Unlimited power with the incredible Grumpy Bomb setup, just hiding in the corner that entire fight, was able to get the setup that the team needed to be able to roll that through. And with that push in mind, 30 seconds to go in this mid-round buy, WLG hold the advantage. Unlimited power already sitting on a record 3. Look at the net worth chart here, Evan. We've got 1,800 credits in favor of Bomb King. The highest on Burrito Esports is 1,300. That's 500 ahead. Unlimited power has been doing nothing but non-stop fragging all game. He's got to be shut down by Burrito. But is there anybody? I don't see anybody on their squad who's really able to deal with the Bomb King here.
It's tough. He's got so much health, and the way that a lot of these Bomb Kings play with Accelerant allows them only brief moments of insecurity. So even if you're able to burst him down, even a full Eagle Eye Kinessa shot is not going to be able to take down Unlimited Power. He's running at least 50 extra health from, I believe, Emperor's Cloak, giving him the extended life that he needs to escape from the tricky situations. And this Grumpy Bomb, this damage, this Evil Mojo gives Unlimited Power 2 kills. Fantastic combination of resources, and they've still got the King Bomb to boot.
It just keeps on rolling through, and now the setup zone is absolutely devastating from WLG. These pop shots coming out from Bomb King, the lob shots from Pip as well, are keeping everybody back in base. Finally, Simsalo can answer back, but there's an Inara in between Burrito and the objective. 78% and rising. Can anybody close the gap onto the objective? It's seeming like it's a little bit too little, too late.
But Skos is doing a great job of finding 2 in the back line, and this is what I think is resulting in so much of the ability for them, this rhythm. And that Hexafire, though it's getting damage and finally slaying Unlimited Power, is not enough to turn the tide of the fight and bring Inara down. Skos has done more than his work, taking the Kinessa and the Drogos out. Will it be 2 in a row? Skos is on a 10 streak, looking to make it 11. He will. Last shot. Androxus keeps ruling the skies. Drogus with a Fusillade salvo, still unable to take him down. And Ceres' healing just puts the dragon in a horrible position.
Savage, 9 streak rampage for Skos as the damage just keeps on continuing. The stagger from Burrito has been mitigated a little bit. They managed to get both frontliners back on the objective, but there just isn't any support coming through, and Unlimited Power comes back into the fight, looks to frag out Slashwine, can't find the damage, but Skos can. That's WLG with the second capture of this game number 1. They're up 3-0. Burrito Esports thoroughly on the back foot here.
This is just a good draft. This is a get-wrecked draft right now happening on the side of Burrito and, you know, WLG. It's unfortunate that, you know, WLG just has everything good in the meta right now. They've got all the counters. Drogos and Kinessa getting eaten alive by Slashwine here, and they just don't have anyone who can contend. It's a very hard question to answer when Androxus is constantly the one asking it to a Drogos and a Kinessa, and I'm not surprised that they are failing this test. Finally gets taken down there by Simsalo.
And what's really interesting as well is we're seeing Skos on this Androxus do some really interesting positioning play come through on this map of Frog Isle. He keeps on going around where you can see Makoa on your screen right now, but dips down underneath the map, utilizing their air control to stay round behind cover and then sneaking up on their opponents. So we've often seen Androxus really being a non-priority pick on this map of Frog Isle because they're so easily poked out, but now they're very, very much so taking that into their stride, taking that into their advantage, and advancing, not showing vulnerability over distance here.
Great place as well from Surratt, using the full Earthen Guard cooldown to his benefit. Seismic Crash to finish off Madang, and that will turn the turtle back into the base. Simsalo flying, but a little bit scared now of taking flight. That booster not so powerful when he's got immediately the ability to get hunted by the deadliest flanker in the realm at this point. King Bomb rolling through as well, trying to secure something. Surratt's hiding out in the corner. All the ultimates are flying. Dread Serpent is here. This is the chance they might be able to turn around Vox, and the tank and the healer go down.
And they do have the opportunity to defend here. Burrito Esports are able to stall out. I thought that Sose Dante might like to use the Evil Mojo, but with only 400 health remaining, a good decision to disengage. 34 seconds left on the clock. WLG have another chance to get back into this. Let's look at the ultimates and see what's available. Evil Mojo on the side of WLG. It's going to be Hexafire, the only other available for Burrito Esports. That does grant superior crowd control immunity. That might be the only thing which can stop this push, but Hexafire not channeled in time. There's the Evil Mojo. Madang down already.
Cauterize doesn't allow him to heal up off the Evil Mojo, though, off the healing potion, but Surrette's up in the air, jukes out the Hexafire. Oh boy, that's not going to feel good as a ruckus. Simsalo with the Fusillade Rockets trying to get the Ceres, but she shadow travels. What else is new? Stays safe, and that'll be WLG taking the victory over Burrito Esports.
Oh my goodness, what an incredible 4-0 game that was. That was just absolutely devastating drafting and execution coming through from WLG. They got the better of their opponents in every way imaginable. Big shout outs to Skozas that game as well. Androxus taking some interesting flank routes, as well as unlimited power on the Bomb King, who appears to have topped the damage charts after that game as well. 89,000, coming over 20k, almost 30k ahead of some of the damage champions on the enemy team, and 20k really ahead of other blaster champions like Simsalo. Fusillade Drogo's unable to have an impact in that game because of the flank pressure that Androxus was continually trying to output.
And let's also focus on something here. I think the draft was just an incredibly, odd draft coming out from Burrito. I think they gave up way too much synergy for roles. I think the pit might have thrown them off here. Obviously, we didn't look at that in the timing of when it was picked up. But the Bomb King, the Androxus, the Ceres, and the Inara, that core right there is so strong in terms of zoning and doing what they need to do. They've got mobility to stay alive. They've got healing to stay alive. And Kinessa and Drogos really, I think, because Skozas had such a good performance, mitigated the only places they were going to get enough damage to win these team fights. Skozas having a bad game could have changed it all, but in this meta, Androxus really does own a lot of these matchups against Drogos and against Kinessa. It was just tough that one character kind of nullified two of Burritos.
Is absolutely king in the meta so far, but we're going to be going to a bit of a different map where Androxus might not be quite as devastating as we have seen them previously. The next map coming up is going to be Frozen Guard, so we're going away from the sunny shores of Frog Isle down to a bit more of an icy predicament. Now, do you expect to see a lot of different champions come out here? We saw the wildcard pit, which I absolutely love, but with Kinessa being picked up on Frog Isle and Frozen Guard being a bit of a Kinessa map, do you think that Burrito Esports are going to dare run that again, or have they been thoroughly off-put here?
Well, this is where we start learning about this new roster. This is where we see what is your mentality after these types of games. Do you transport her into danger like we've seen before, or do you step away and take the feedback? It's like some people, they're almost, their hubris, their confidence is important. And we'll see if they elect to say, hey, you know what? Let me run that one back. I didn't have my best game, but I know I feel good about this matchup in the long run. I'd love to see that from /1 because it is a good map for Kinessa, but I think their draft needs to be a little bit more wholesome. They need to be able to do a little bit more, even if the Kinessa isn't on point in her 1v1s.
Well, we'll just have to see and find out. Game 2 coming up shortly, folks, between Burrito Esports and WLG. WLG up one map. Can they end it all here on Frozen Guard, or will Burrito Esports manage to pull themselves back into the set? Stay tuned. You're live.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to game number 2 here in our first quarterfinal set for our European ESL Go4 Championship Final Series. It's going to be WLG in the left side fighting against Burrito for the second time here. WLG with the winner's advantage in last game. It's Mother's Grace Inara for Surretts. Yet again, Mortal Reed Stairs for Magito, Accelerant Bomb King for Unlimited Power, Dark Stalker Androxus for Skosas, and Acrobatics Pit for Soze. Same exact lineup for them.
We're seeing a bit of the salty run back here on the other side of things. Burrito is going to be slightly different. Simsalo on Deep Roots Grover this time. Slashwine will be on Eli Canessa again. Madang on Pluck Makoa. Sleepy on Ripen Gourd Maldamba. And Goa this time around on Death Hastens Lex. I'm excited to see if the Canessa Grover combo can come out big here. But they've got to watch out for the Pip again. That Acrobatics Pip is really hard to lock off, but it's going to be Surretts who goes straight to the back line. And as Canessa, what do you do in the face of an Inara?
And that's the problem. They have a Saris and a Mojito together. It sounds like a nice little cocktail there, who are able to heal from range. Grover goes on the offensive, leaves Canessa alone. No healing available for the sniper. This fight is almost over before it started. WLG with the counter offensive now, 21% on the point for them.
I'm just distracted by that. I could go for a Megiddo right now, actually, in the middle of this. It seems like, oh my goodness, perfect as well. Look at Surretts' use of the Earthen Guard there, making sure that they're CC immune and can't be pulled in by Makoa. Got to retreat back now towards the objective, being slowed down by the Ripen Gourd and pass off cooldown. But so far, this Inara min-maxing has been absolutely phenomenal. Once again, CC immune, debuff immune. They're just fighting through all the damage and being healed up consistently by Ceres. That's the capture for WLG.
Well, that's the story right here. When you're really looking at the success from this front line, from this payload, and they can let this go. You know, Surretts going to fall. They've extended long enough in zone to get the objective, get what they came for, and go home happy. The key you're going to really see here is the fact that Magito and the synergy between him and Surretts having the ability to heal at the right moments. Earthen Guard cleanses that cauterize, so you get that full heal back. Inara with about 5k health, that's 4k back no matter what, as long as you press your right click at the same time.
It's perfect synergy coming through so far. Magito in Shadow Travel will be able to escort the payload a little bit further. It's interesting positioning from this Inara in the tunnels, making good use of impasse where they can just to block off some of the incoming damage. But that now on cooldown, it's going to be deep into the backline. Skosas to kick things off. Androx is playing so aggressively here.
I love it. He needs to, and that's the point. He's going after Slashwine. You pick the Canessa into me again, boy. He's setting up a challenge here. Headhunter gets popped by the sniper. No kills yet. Cursed arm in the air. Expect him to look for her, and that's going to be 2.
Wow.
Madang gets taken down. Nice dash away from the Grover. Oh, reversal Slashwine shot back into him, and it could allow for Soze Dante to follow up and finish off the sniper. He will, but he's the only one left alive. The Bullpine will fall, and they will hold for now. Burrito wiping the sweat off their brow.
So many ultimates used just in that last engagement, it felt like as well. You know, we've got Ancient Rage not even charged, but from the side of WLG, it was Convergence, Evil Mojo, and a Cursed Arm all at the same time, and it didn't find the conversion potential there. So I'm wondering if they're holding something back in the tank, waiting for the next objective, or if they wanted to maybe bait out some enemy ultimates from their opponents and go in for a second time. Regardless, we know that Seismic Crash is online, we know that King Bomb is online, and we know how devastating that King Bomb was in the previous game around, but with an early pick onto Inara, that's taken a lot of the wind out of WLG's sails here.
They just got 2 big picks. Unlimited Power got shot with an Eagle Eye Canessa headshot. Gets taken out because he was poked a little bit before. Remember, 2,400 health for the headshot. 2,450 is the health Bomb King is running. He's made that choice. He could have had about 600 health if he went full investment into those cards. So, very interesting decision. It does stall the push now, but they've got 14 seconds left, Fox. This is where they're looking for that 1 pick. They've got the ultimates ready. Seismic Crash and King Bomb. Like you mentioned, are they going to use it here? Are they going to save it for next round and just see what they can do?
I don't think they can afford to, but they're going to elect to use the King Bomb anyway. Unlimited Power gets shut down by Slashwine. Good play from the Canessa so far. Headhunter also charged and ready. 97%. One more shot will have that back at full. Here comes a Seismic Crash as well, but the Headhunter headshot from Slashwine takes down Soze Dante. Here's Headhunter as well. The damage ripping through Inara, trying to hold the angle, stay out of combat. The heals are good, and back into the fray will be Androxus. Skosas takes out 1, continuing to find the damage onto their opponents, chasing down Slashwine, finds the elimination. Very low on health. Can they continue this push? Madang from behind gets caught out. Unlimited Power with a double kill of their own. And now Sleepy, the last one left defending, gets shut down. Dread Serpent not going to happen. It's only Grover, but it's looking like it's Grover. Simsalo goes down. WLG push through successfully. 2-0 in 5 minutes.
That's like the bad guy has him in the chair. He's got the gun to his head, and then all of a sudden, you know, some miracle, some Deus Ex Machina comes. The light falls onto his head, and you know, scratches off the guy's handcuffs, and suddenly he makes an escape and gets out alive. And you're like, how the hell did that happen? This was the push of time. Surretts, Mojito, they were so in sync there. I saw so many opportunities for them to fall, but the perfect shadow travels, perfect restore souls, perfect rend souls to make sure Mojito was getting the self-sustain from Fade to Black, but also from the mechanic of just detonating those orbs that he's placed on the targets. It was a masterpiece right there.
And you know what? I think that's the most important element of that last fight. It was all about that Megiddo combination, allowing Surretts to stay alive, buying time for Skosas to get back into the fight for unlimited power. And with those two damaged powerhouses back in the fray, that's where you find your kill potential. But pulled in immediately is going to be Megiddo. That's going to be a kill back as Simslow takes out unlimited power too as well. And this brawl is going out both ways. Current advantage to Burrito Esports as Koa finds a double kill.
A lot of orbs traveling through, but Koa gets a triple kill here. Lex trying to serve justice in the realm, and he will. It will be WLG who fall almost five members, excuse me, fall and create a big opening for Burrito now to push their advantage. 46% and counting on the objective. It's going to allow them to, with the comeback mechanic, get this up very quickly. It's going to be Surretts having to rush onto the point or give it up.
And it's going to be the rush straight towards the objective. Convergence used to start things off, but that's not going to pull in anybody. Overtime is ticking for Burrito Esports right now. Soze Dante found her out on the backside. Is going to be taken down by Mad Ang. Unlimited power. Hit with a headshot from Lex. That's a lot of damage. You don't want to soak. Double headshot. Koa takes them out. And it's just that tanky frontline combo on the objective now. Koa does go down to Surretts. This is very close. It's neck and neck here. Pulled straight back to the objective. That might have been a misplay from Mad Ang right there. Because WLG, they're coming in for a retake.
They actually just cannot kill Inara as she is being healed by Pip and Mojito. It just could not happen. Surretts has too much survivability. The only moment that would have worked was that Mojito got caught in the Dread Serpent, but no longer. And now WLG back in control. This has got to feel like a horrible, horrible circumstance here. The coin did not fall their way. WLG with such a good start, such a bad start, and now could be facing a 3-0 lead in this game.
They've got to get to the objective. It will be Simslow. He tries to root Megiddo off the objective, can't find the kill, but does find the kill, doesn't get the off the objective, so can't get the catch at the last second, but Slashwine finds 2 in a row. Inara with the seismic crash. It's going to be evaded by a fantastic vine from Grover, who stays up in the air. The heal burst comes through from Blossom as well. Surretts solo on the objective, no follow-up, and overtime will tick down. WLG have been stumped here, despite a fantastic retake. Burrito Esports, they're down but not out, and they have 1 point on the objective so far. The payload push will start here.
Well, this is a new team. This is a new dawn, a new day, a new Lex. Koa just stepping up. Haven't been screaming his name at all. And actually, with those 3 or 4 kills in that last engagement, takes himself from a negative deficit to actually a positive contribution here, killing more than he has been killed in this game. Simslow misses a big vine that actually allows Skosas to follow up in the air with a cursed arm, gets another kill for his troubles. Now looking for a reversal onto the sniper. All the meanwhile, just pushing Burrito back after having a moment of weakness here. Skosas just had a bit of a rough point fight that last one.
And now they're back a little bit more on form. Boxing out with Koa, though, goes down very, very quickly. And it's interesting to see this sort of Androxus Lex dynamic really start to kick things off here. Skosas plays a phenomenal Androxus with their positioning, but we're seeing a few inconsistencies come through in their play. They'll land 4 or 5 shots in a row and then miss 5 in a row in turn. And against a Lex who can just chunk through you with so much damage, you cannot afford that inconsistency. You've got to be hitting every single shot, like Soze Dante does, as they answer back in kind and take down the Lawman to maybe stem the pressure.
Incredibly cool moment seeing Soze Dante just kind of outbox the Lex there. Koa getting the better end of the true flankers damage there. Pip always known to be a little bit farther away from the healing responsibilities than most would like him to. CC immune actually, great heads up play by Surretts to immune the reload stun from Sleepy's Snake. And that is a very heads up play. You mentioned just being very comfortable with the mechanics of Inara right now. Surretts really showing that he knows in and out how to really use this character.
You know, it's fantastic to see these players as well pick up such comfort with these champions like Inara, despite really not having played a great deal of them in recent weeks. We've got to take into account the fact that Inara has only really been played a lot since the Mother's Grace changes came out, and the rapid adjustment that we've seen all the top level competitors competitive players have has been phenomenal to see. Surets there will be boxing out once again, not going to be healed up just yet, but staying alive nevertheless. Ceres back in the field, there's going to be the Restore Soul, and straight away Inara almost back at full health. I mean, what did Burrito Esports do here? They can try and push this into overtime. They can't even contest right now.
Their game plan, Vox, really is to get a pick off the Makoa, get a pick off of the Grover deep roots, and really just isolate Inara. They want to make sure that they can burst her down, but without the Drogos, they've gone for more of, okay, we'll take advantage of your inherent weakness, which is your lack of mobility. There's no way for her to get pulled and then stay in a safe spot, so they could really just burst her down that way. As the defense holds, though, it's going to be more of a disappointment of a round than anything for Burrito, because they still give up the point. And now they are facing elimination's door. So again, I love the draft of Grover here, but I think they just have to execute it very consistently from now on if they want to win.
And speaking of consistent execution, so far WLG have been pretty much on point with that, except in that last capture objective, and even then it was very, very close. Let's take a look at the itemizations with 15 seconds left to go until the third capture of this game. We are seeing triple cauterize for both teams now, so that's been equalized between Burrito Esports and WLG, but it's got less efficacy for Burrito Esports than it does have for WLG because of that Mother's Grace debuff immunity. Interesting to see the master writings come out for both teams as well, though. They understand that Frozen Guard is a long map. They want to be back into the fight as quickly as possible. It's going to be Megiddo straight to the objective. Conversion straight out into the backline. Dual Shadow Travel keep them alive. It will. Grover comes, though. Tries to heal up everybody. The cauterize is a bit too much. Unlimited Power finds a double kill. Out comes Dread Serpent as well to try and stem the pressure. And it might just be enough. Madang and Sleepy pick up 2 kills of their own. Koa looks for the chase down. Can Skozas find the kill onto the Lex? I don't think so. They've got too much damage.
He's got the mark on him as well. Retribution could be coming for Skozas if he's not careful. This is all Burrito right now. Simsalo finishes off the kill of the lonely flanker, and now Surets is forced to really make a play. The wall goes up, blocks her off. Cauterize 3 still available, but Earthen Guard will immune all of that. But now is her moment of being vulnerable, and Unlimited Power, having lost the battle to Slashwine, means the sniper is still alive to shoot the immobile tank.
I think what was really important there as well was the fantastic rapid target switching coming through from Burrito Esports. Once they saw Inara go straight into the Earthen Guard, they go focus down the Bomb King, take them out of the fight. Now they're looking for Megiddo. They've been rooted, they've been crippled. One more shot will take them down, but they're healing back up again. Koa finds that, but Unlimited Power is back into the mix. This Bomb King going to be tearing through the enemy. Skozas cleans up Madang as well. The sniper going to be converged on here by double flank pressure. Slashwine will answer back, but from behind is coming the Androxus, and it's a little bit too much to deal with. So much zone pressure. 70% for WLG. Can Burrito Esports return?
Very hard for this Acrobatics Pip to actually hit the Androxus, but he's going to stay here and try to farm out Slashwine, who is definitely under pressure. The Transporter away, and now he's got a good view. Hits him for 1, hits him for 2. Who's going to win it? Pip or the Sniper? It will be the Sniper. Evil Mojo comes out, puts Koa under pressure. That was the real bright light for Burrito, and now they've only got 2 lights alive. Now only 1. It will just be the Maldamba who falls. Sleepy takes the ultimate sleep, goes down, and that will be WLG taking the victory here, 2-0, and moving on to the next round over Burrito.
Just an incredible lights-out performance from the entire squad of WLG. Burrito Esports starting to come back into it that game, finding their feet, finding their rhythm, understanding maybe how they're playing around with Madang rather than NTBs in the roster this time around. But again, the draft just maybe not as effective as it could have been. We've seen them really prioritize the Grover quite heavily on this map, but once triple cauterize started to come through, it's burst heal under the dome shield from Grover, and that's all that the Whirlwind and Blossom is really useful for there. Maybe they could have done with a bit of extra damage, maybe honestly something like a Charlene, some anti-flank pressure, or better anti-air that would have been able to help deal with this Acrobatics Pip could have been useful, but it was too little, too late. It just didn't matter. Fantastic game from WLG, fantastic set, and as you said, they're going to be our semi-finalists for day from this set.
Pretty exciting stuff as well. The Acrobatics Pip, I mean, I want to see Soze Dante move on just because I want to see the Acrobatics Pip a little bit more. I love that as this legendary system has become more commonplace within the Paladins community, the esports players are starting to experiment. They're starting to try some things out. We haven't yet seen the ultimate legendaries, though. That's the real one that I want to see somebody take a chance on and really have it pay off, whether it's even the Maldamba one or even the Shaolin one. I want to see the 100% lifesteal in the heat haze. That sounds fun to me. But Soze Dante really lightened things up with the acrobatics pit. Can't point to anything going wrong there. 55k damage, 24,000 healing. Definitely contributed his part just about as much as Grover did. So can say that pick worked out, and excited to see what happens next round.
It is a phenomenal play that we've seen from everybody involved in here so far, and we've got plenty more Paladins action coming up very shortly. Got a bit of an issue with the challenge bracket behind the scenes, so we'll have that updated for you very shortly. In the meantime, we can go through and let you know that 50 Shades of Snake did take down Zealous Esports. WASD Sports, here's the kicker, Evan. 2-1 versus District 69. What do you think of that?
Get out of town. Get out of town.
No, seriously. WASD Sports have come through.
D69's out?
D69 is out of this month's May finals for the ESL Paladins Go4 Cup in the first round. That's unprecedented here.
I mean, you know, we were talking a little bit about this idea, right? You know, losing now versus losing later. You know, I was saying this is kind of a bad time to start losing your momentum heading into Valencia. But you were kind of bringing up a good point as well, which is that maybe this is a good time to lose. Like, get your losses out now so that you can start making the rise heading to the big time money.
You got to start making the adjustments, and maybe that's going to be exactly what they can do here. But on the lower side of the bracket, Burrito Esports taken out 2-0 by WLG, and Flashpoint Paladins took out Otter Esports 2-0. So your semi-finals for today are going to be 50 Shades of Snake versus WASD Sports, WLG versus Flashpoint Paladins, and we will be back in about 10 minutes after a top 5 players video and a short break whilst we get things set up and ready. Welcome to the realm and to Paladins Top 5 Plays. My name is Vox, and let's see this week which players are about to become champions.
I'm a cut above the rest.
We're off to Ice Mines for our first play of the episode. Maeve sets up damage to the choke point and finds a lot of pressure under the defending Torvald, who's finished off with Pounce. Fernando retreats, but Maeve keeps up the pressure, finding repeated double daggers in the pit for the slay. 9 lives keeps her alive as Bomb King has to reload. Triple kill acquired. And Androxus for the Quadra as they attempt to slink away.
What a load of torch.
Ah, justice. Best served with a surprise. Lex finds the Lone Wolf isolated and punished to begin here on Stone Keep. Final blow on Fernando. Style points for the 360 as Lex refocuses on the pit. They make triple kills look easy. Androxus, marked with retribution, cannot run, as with Sky by their side, Lex finds their 4th in a row. And now combat sliding forwards. They watch for respawns. The sound of a Grumpy Bomb reveals they've been bypassed, and that's a lot of missed shots in a row, Lex. But in pursuit finds the kill at last. Fixer bears down for revenge, but combat slide just in time lets Lex escape with 41 health remaining.
You are nothing but dust in the wind.
From one narrow escape to another, we're onto Frog Isle next, and Charlene, immediately in Heat Haze, finds 2 shots onto Grover, refocuses to Kinessa to wipe out the incoming danger to their team, and returns to their original kill. Payload in transit, Maeve tries to contest, but is a snapshot away from death. Torvald is impaled into walls, soaks a planted, their personal shield buys time, saves their life as they reposition. Hyper Beam throws Charlene off the map, but a mid-air withdraw saves their life, narrowly escaping death by bare inches. Charlene returns to the fight with seconds to go until overtime, and the payload bare meters from conversion. Relentless in pressure, they pick Grover a second time. Midnight and Ice Block Eevee buy time, but the enemy can't find any kills whatsoever, and they're punished for even trying to go near the objective. Torvald, coming in as a last-ditch effort, is impaled away from the payload, just about to reach it. No contest, fantastic conversion.
Champions are made by the paths they choose, not the powers they were graced with.
Sometimes, though, it's both. This Victor combines precision aiming and perfect positioning to provide covering fire and defense as overtime rapidly approaches. Spray down, grenade out, that'll provide some zone. 4 seconds left, Cassie down. Flank, left exposed, Drogo's will be next. Torn through by the anti-air assault rifle, grenade to finish Androxus, and Maldamba, nice stun, but it's nowhere near enough. Who said damage can't play the flank role too?
I have such an explosive personality. A hard-fought battle lies ahead on Serpent Beach, and Barak is unable to approach the rapidly climbing objective. It's all down to Bomb King, and Jolt Poppy Bomb throws panic and confusion into the mix. Grumpy Bomb zones all off the capture point, and that'll buy enough time for Inara to return and take things into 99%. Overtime to the red team. Knocked back, but not down yet. Still contesting no matter how many allies fall is the red team. Ceres is next. Now Barak back from the respawn. Barricade is down. Juke boots are active, but that's a lot of incoming damage. It's all down to Bomb King, and Jolt will make the space. One toe on the objective as overtime has elapsed is all the red team needed. Thank you all for watching this episode of Paladins Top 5 Plays. To submit your own plays, check out the YouTube video description and fill out the submission form to show us what you're made of. Don't forget to subscribe to receive the Onyx Stallion mount skin in-game as well, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another. Oh, just kidding. I was getting into my own rhythm here. But you know what? Since we're breaking up the rhythm, why don't I break up the casters? Vox, he's taking a break. I'm bringing in a new person right now. It's high res, pretty hair, Nicky O. What's good, dog? What's good, man?
Oh, dude. How's everybody doing today? Game's been so good so far, man. Pretty crazy bracket here today.
A lot of exciting stuff, and already some great performances, some really notable streaks. Scosa's been lighting things up. WLG have been looking good. But now, it's time to take a look at 50 Shades of Snake versus WASD Sports. Now, remember, WASD Sports, the bracket you're looking at the screen, they had to go through D69. That means they beat the top dogs right now, the latest and greatest in Europe. And 50 Shades of Snake have been beating them as well. So could this be kind of the start of a new thing? D69 maybe in a little bit of a funk here, but WSD Sports, they don't mind it at all. They're excited to be in the semis.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the skill gap as a whole is just kind of closing, and it's pretty insane to see, D69 going down as early as they did, but that's just the factor of it is now. There are multiple teams that can take games, if not sets, off both 50 Shades of Snake and District 69. It's just the skill gap's starting to tighten. There's more talent coming into the scene. Talent that's been in the scene is starting to develop, and playing against Snake and District 69 week after week after week, you get that valuable experience, and you can learn from every time you play against them, whether you win or whether you lose.
Well, it's important that these teams both keep that in mind as well. One of them is going to be winning, one's going to be losing, but where will they win or lose? That's for us to check out on our screens right now. First map, we'll be playing Bright Marsh, the brand new map in Paladins that's just been released. But what's really cool is that Stone Keep and Frog Isle have been banned. So one of the more traditional maps, I think, two of the more traditional maps that we like to see played, and that these two teams like to play, are actually not going to be played today.
I like the bands kind of coming in today. Frog Isle, we saw some actually very interesting flank routes. I was watching Scosis on his Androxus, start to use these maps, and the more they get played, the more new stuff that kind of gets figured out. We don't really see that type of stay below. They're staying above the kill volume, but below line of sight. Some really cool stuff that people are starting to figure out on these maps, and it's just more you have to think about when you go into banning maps.
Well, let's get going into this game. We know you don't want too many breaks. We're going to sync up real quick and get ready to show you the action. Semifinals, 50 Shades of Snake, WASD Sports coming right at you on Bright Marsh. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the semifinals here at the ESL Finals for Europe. It is going to be WASD versus 50 Shades of Snake. On the side of WASD, it's Creatives running Ice Block, Reprieve Eevee. It's going to be Exaction Cassie for Mudastina, the newest player on this roster. Mother's Grace and Nara for Unbelievable, Ripe and Gord Maldamba for Spunky, and Architectonics Barrack for Kamiker.
50 Shades of Snake are going to have Bonkar on a Ruckus with Aerial Assault running a very Bitey-esque loadout, if you will. Darkstalker for Dialers and Drox summoning for Sun Commander today. Mortal Reach for Bird, Sarah's Pluck for Thiel's Makoa, and Accelerant for Lazy's Bomb King with a morale boost to hit just that many more Lazy ults.
And look at this Dialer. We're asking, who is he? Where is Sun Commander? Well, who cares when he gets the first kill on the Creatives? And despite this wall, it has still opened up a lot of space for Bonker to shoot into the map. The Room of Bright Marsh is forcing everyone to get in or get out it. And that's where Unbelievable's going. This aerial advanced ruck is just unrelenting in the damage, and that's a nice advantage so far for 50 Shades of Snake, who now have 15% on the capture check.
36% for WASD snuck away, but they are losing this fight rather hard. There's no way to get in here right now. And actually, Spunky spotted out on the top high ground here. They're chasing him down. Dylan's going to find that kill, just making WASD that much more staggered. It's going to be that much more difficult to try and break in here with 70% plus already on the point for Snake.
Creatives does get the kill, though, and that is important. At the beginning of this fight, getting that early momentum can mean everything. And Bird as well, playing on Saris, going to get taken down by Creative. So this is a great start for the flanker here for WASD. Into the Ice Block, full health Reprieve, and now 55% and counting control for WASD, but she's going to relent it. She can't stand up against the Ruckus and all that healing on the point. Unbelievable hand, though.
He's going to be able to hang out for a bit, taking a ton of damage from the Ruckus. Tries to wall himself off, but so split up, just healers. Never in sync with the tanks right now. WASD getting really thrown out of whack on this push. Never able quite to stabilize. As a result, Snake, you're going to take an easy first payload here.
And look at this, Spunky on the healing role, Nick. This has been interesting. We've seen Spunky play the healing role for WASD. He's the captain for the team. He's the most experienced. Used to be with 50 Shades of Snake when they won the major high-res Expo tournament. What do you think about him being on this role? Because he can flex damage too. We've seen him on the Androxuses as well.
He can do everything. Just because your damager is on your healer right now, as Snake continue to roll through this push, counting a couple frags either way. Spunky is a really good Paladins player, a really good game sense, played for a long time, and that's kind of important just to have from that healer role, because it's easy to shotgun an in-game lead, though. Triple kill as Lazy leads the way for Snake to this payload conversion.
And Lazy with this Bomb King pressure. I feel like we're seeing this dynamic trio of Androxus, Saris, and Bomb King right now. Maybe sprinkle with a little Ruckus, sprinkle with a little Inara, but these three are doing work in the latest and greatest of games that we've been watching. Creative's trying to finish off Bird. So hard to do it, though. Rampage and Hexifier coming out from Bonker. A 16 streak for this Ruckus. Somebody stop this Goblin and Mech, please.
Can't be brought down. Running a pretty cool card in his loadout as well. Air-cooled 4 with, his fuel reserves 4 as well. So advancing a ton, and then for each advance, he's going to heal for 200. This in combination with it's an early round. Cauterize hasn't come online yet. Bird is pretty unpressured right now. He's only died one time. He's just able to pump out a ton of healing. You can't stop Ruckus early game. He's so difficult to box out with. Even late game, the damage is still there at the very least. 13 streak for Lazy as well on his Bomb King. A lot of good streaks rolling right now for 50 Shades of Snake.
Well, 30,000 damage, above 8,000 even over Lazy, who's the second highest in this game. Ruckus, Bonker, 50 Shades of Snake have gotten a lot of value out of this secondary tank pick. Makoa still on Thiel. Thiel still on Makoa. Either way you slice it, these two have been one and the same for a long time, and things going well for him. He's on a 13 streak. Also, Unbelievable trying to change things up, but she cannot chase up to the upper rafters here on Bright Marsh. So it's just up to Creatives and the Cassie really to take down this Ruckus.
He's got a good angle on frankly, all of this team fight. And there's no Makoa, so nobody to pull him off this high ground. Really good angle here on Mudastina, who's just cleaned up Dialer, but now a nice roll away. Hook's gonna miss as well. Mudastina's distracting, 3 members of Snake, and as a result, WSD are in control of the point zone.
And all the while, Creative's she spent 10 seconds trying to finish off Bonker, can't do it, and now Bonker finishes him off. And that is just the power of this Ruckus and the aerial assault, the mobility. And look at this, the combinations off of the Sarah's convergence doesn't get much. Spunky does find Bonker there, but it does delay quite a bit. Now Lazy here, forced away uncomfortably. Mudastina's gonna find a nice shot there, but Theo will slay him nonetheless. 70% now for WASD on the objective.
Finally cleans it up. Bird rolling through, trying to link up with Theo right now, but the snake stun is way too much. Being barely kept alive. Cauterized one pressure is just not enough out of WASD.
And that's Spunky. He's not just a good healer, he's a good Paladins player. Talk about creatives as well. Into the back line, perfect demonstration of just mobility and awareness. Ceres is gonna blink away, but Lazy looks to be falling here. Great last shot up in the air. Oh, Dialer take him down from the pinpoint shot thanks to the Winter Witch. And now coming down as well, Creative slays Bird. And with the sleigh bells ringing, WASD get themselves the first point.
May have been not super flashy or not super obvious, but I want to give a lot of credit in that payload capture to Mudastina, actually. He came out on top of the 1v1 with Dialer, while at the same time, he pulled Theo and Lazy away. So that's 3 members of Snek for just 1 member of WASD. Mudastina was not killed until probably a minute or 2 later in that fight after he had killed Lazy. So pulling a ton of weight in that fight, giving his team a lot of room to win.
And that's why they picked this guy. He had one of the most amazing flicks we've ever seen at a high-level tournament like that. And he continues to impress on whatever damage champion you put him on. The ability to flex on the Cassie, too, which is not a super insane meta pick, but still a strong, just classic character. Gives him a lot of freedom in the draft.
Only 1 minute 30 remain. Here comes Lazy way in the back line. That's not a Lazy ult. That is pinpoint on top of Spooky. He's going to get 2 for his troubles before going down to Creatives.
And that's big time too. He gets value off it, but Creatives gets the value too. 2 kills coming through. Bird and Dialer going down. Kamaker will just fall thanks to Bonker, who's still been just relentless in this game. I believe still leading the damage charts by about 6,000 now. Just incredible to get that kind of value from a tank. Creatives still, I think, really being one of the main hopes for WASD. As long as he keeps playing well on an 8 streak, they're going to keep having a successful time.
Pick on the Lazy to start this fight off. Dialer's getting pretty low as well. Bonker is cut off from the rest of his team for sure, chasing down some kills, but all that mobility on this Ruckus, the way he's built his loadout, he's able to reconvene with ease.
And that is important. Dialer here with a 2 streak as well. The Androxus player stepping in for Sun Commander this week seems to be having a very nice performance, very solid performance. Nothing maybe too extravagant, but definitely doing his role. However, though, he tries to go to the backside. Unbelievable, content to just sit on the payload. He's got so much health, but a nice reversal into some serious damage. Follow-up is going to mean Mudastina goes to the grave, and now Unbelievable is facing the pressure.
Lazy's getting a lot of damage done on the backline. Found 2 kills, and now is a great angle to clean up anybody that's retreating from the front side of the fight. Lazy with some beautiful positioning, as well as awareness and communication from Snek to let him know as he's coming out of spawn, Spunky's low in the backline. Go clean him up. Lazy gets it done onto not only Spunky, but Creative's Eevee as well.
And nice, just taking away the overtime and into the reprieve. Good use of the card, but the ice block is going to force him to actually give up that time. But the time has been well used. They've got a full tank back. Can they keep the healer? No, Kamaker will fall. Spunky will fall as well. And that could just do it unless we see some big-time ults. They do have the Seismic Crash. Could use it. Be a big AoE stun. And Eevee's Ice Storm is available too, but it's Lazy here, and he's got a King Bomb. He's also got normal bombs, and he will help his team defend. 3-1, 50 Shades of Snake.
Big fight coming out there from Snek and from Lazy in particular, getting a lot of damage done there, closing the gap between he and Bonker, putting it at about 1,000 damage, and no ultimates used from either team. So Snek putting themselves up 2-0 was a good move there, and being able to hold that defense without spending anything puts them in a great spot here. Worth noting the WASD do have the comeback mechanics still enabled, so they will capture at a rate of 4% per tick instead of 3%, as they are still down 1 point to 3.
And in the starting, plan, they definitely wanted to initiate with the Inara. They had, obviously, like you mentioned, those master writings coming through on the side of 50 Shades of Snake to not allow her to get into that objective and really get that wall up, force him into a bad spot. So far, it's really worked. Unbelievable's been on the back foot every single time in these fights. He's got to change something, and it's got to happen now.
Missed Poppy Bomb from Lazy. He's unable to influence this fight, just staying on the point with Bird, as no mobility means no Blaster Bomb can come through. Mudastina with a nice little angle here. And Lazy's out of ammo. He's going to Poppy Bomb up into the air, but another missed Poppy Bomb. Mudastina comes out on top.
Creatives in the back line too, stalled enough. And with these 2 big shots, actually gets a bunch of damage onto Bonker. But 54 health to his name. Bird with a nice soul orb will actually finish that one off. It is 50 Shades of Snake far in control of this game, like we've seen before, like we've sometimes anticipated here. They are not taking any steps backwards, only forwards, 87% and counting. This could be the game if WASD cannot get back.
Mobility to get in there either in a convergence just to make sure. Bird had plenty left in the tank. Snek had plenty left in the tank, and low mobility from the side of WASD. Looking at Inari, looking at Barrick. Those aren't the types of, tanks that can just get in there at a moment's notice. Fernando, shell spin for Makoa. Those are the types of mobility skills you need on your tanks if you're going to find that last second conversion. And WASD just couldn't get close enough.
No, it was a great performance for all of them. The scoreboard is on your screen, just breaking down some of the items, not the items, just some of the final statistics of this game. You see that even though there was pretty decent stats, I think, across the board for WASD, there wasn't that huge standout player, that huge KD. I mean, look at Bonker, 31 and 4. I mean, this is just a nuts performance that really stands out to me. 72,000 damage, top damage in the entire game by at least 8,000. And this is, he maintained that pace. To be able to do that on your tank is one of the reasons why Ruckus is so good when in the hands of a great damage and aiming player like a Bonker, who's normally more comfortable on a Shaolin, but also just why Ruckus is so good as a secondary tank. No other tank usually playing that secondary role can compete with that added damage and mobility that he's providing.
Yeah, it was so difficult to shut him down early, and Ruckus helps you provide that snowball because he's so difficult to box. Even with somebody like Inara's damage just doesn't compete with Ruckus. And early game, for all intents and purposes, they're about the same in terms of staying power. Inara really starts to shine late game when she's immuning that Cauterize 3, and that's what Ruckus can't do. But when it's early game and there's only Cauterize 1, and Ruckus can just, fight through with Bird latching onto him for almost as much damage as Bonker dealt, Bird was there to heal him up at 72,000 on his Saris. So there's just so difficult to break. And when you get ahead early, that Cauterize 1 doesn't become Cauterize 2 for a while in this game, and then never becomes Cauterize 3. So it's not a big problem for Bird to just heal through it.
Well, let's take a look at the next map that we'll be playing this set on. It is going to be a Frozen Guard, which is an ice map variant. We've seen it in the last set as well. So if you remember seeing it, should be on your screen now. That is where they will be taking their next game too. Nick, this lineup, 50 Shades of Snake, they've had a great couple of weeks. WASD, they've had a good week too, beating D69. But after the performance in Brightmarsh, do you think this is a map they can turn around? Is it just 50-50 who's winning this, or are Snake kind of steamrolling ahead?
Has been, pretty heavily favored by Snick, and even D69 have been very good on it. Just kind of figuring out that double tank strat, figuring out how they want to play it. It's very just kind of bully your way onto the point and stay there. Frozen Guard is pretty 180 in terms of that. There's a lot of open space. It's a similar point fight, I'll give you that, but the space around it is so much more open that it comes down a lot more into the draft. Your Kinessas, how you get your flank pressure, creatives, EVs, probably going to be more effective on this map.
Can't wait to see what ends up happening. We'll get into game in just a second. So don't go anywhere. Game number 2 here in the semifinals coming up on Frozen Guard. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the action started here on Frozen Guard. It's Snake versus WASD. WASD, they lost the last game on Bright Marsh. It's time for revenge, but Snake are trying to do everything they can to keep them from it. Bird will be on Mortal Reach Ceres. Lazy on Wormjet's Drogo, so no Fusillade this time. Pluck Makoa for Thiel, Exaction Cassie for Dialer, and Mother's Grace and Nara for Bonker.
Unbelievable is going to be on a Fernando this time with an Aegis Modestina back on his famous Androxus with Godslayer as his chosen legendary. Ripen Gourd for Spunky's Maldamba. Kamikaze will be on Flux Generator Ruckus. Creatives will be on Accelerant Bomb King with 3 Cauterizes, make it 4 Cauterizes and a Chronos right out of the gate for WASD. 2 Wreckers, 2 Caught, and a Morale Boost are the item choices for 50 Shades.
I love the initial Wormjet's pressure coming out from Lazy. No salvo, though, which I find a bit surprising. Might have wanted to charge that up and just lay low into Fernando on the objective. He loses a lot of the damage, but has mobility and escapability, maybe expecting that Androxus is going to be looking to finish him off and chase him out of these corridors. But looks like the first kills will go to 50 Shades of Snake. There's a salvo, but right as he objects, Creative says, no, I'm the king of this area, and he takes him down.
Dialer rolling through this fight on Cassie, actually doing a ton of damage, found killing blows onto Spunky and Unbelievable, and chases out Modestina all at the same time. Not receiving a whole lot of pressure. I don't know if it's just his reputation. He doesn't command it, but right now, WASD are definitely sleeping on what this Cassie is able to get done.
This guy can't even miss a shot right now, hitting all the bonus shots. Exaction really coming through, showing the power of that legendary. And now with the ultimate, he's going to gain the 30% movement speed. Not missing yet again. Creative's in the air. Oh, he can't be that good. But when he lands, he sure is. Finishes off the target. The prey, the hunted by the Hunter's Daughter is just on a rampage. Dialer, what are you doing, man? And nice spray.
Ripping WASD apart right now. This is insane. The substitute here today for 50 Shades of Snack showing he's looking like, I mean, this is just what happens to subs on 50 Shades of Snack. They play out of their minds, then they get put on the main roster.
And that's the point. You want to see these players. I mean, if I'm looking at a team that doesn't have this guy on a permanent leave right now, I mean, on a permanent contract right now, I'm definitely starting to consider him. This is how Modestina kind of came up on WASD. And so as these teams continue to progress, Nick, I think it's extremely important to watch out for potential like this and see if they can keep harnessing it.
WSD probably need to look to just pay him attention, a little bit more respect maybe in this matchup here, not sleeping on him too much. I haven't seen anybody really firing back on him the whole time. Dialer continuing to roll through uncontested, putting himself in a situation here where he might get a little caught out, but Bird's going to keep him alive.
Good play, though. Just awareness of where he needs to hit his exaction rolls, and that is extremely important.
Oh, my God.
Just to get damage. And that's important, man. His damage right now.
He's doubling Lazy.
It is 32,000, doubling the second highest person in the game. It's because he hasn't stopped shooting, and he hasn't stopped missing either.
I know. He just does not miss. Creatives here getting caught out again. More damage for a Dialer. 33,000. Creatives is actually the next closest there. 15.8 on his Bomb King. Despite all these frags, though, you know, the payload's still yet to break the base for WASD.
Very, very good aim coming out from him, and good games as well. Just absolutely on point every single time. And now continuing with the exaction, gets the savage Tyler. Absolutely having a game of his lifetime right now. Spoken Creatives just in the base. Don't want to come out.
It's one man. I mean, frankly, not to take anything away from him, but not a lot of focus being put on him right now. I don't know, because, you look at, all right, Drogo's and Droxy's got to shut him down. Bob King, you do a ton of damage, just smash these tanks in the face, right? I don't know if anyone's been assigned to Dialer. I don't know how much, preparation, respect that WSD are affording this Cassie right now, but he's making it very clear to them very quickly that he's commanding that sort of respect. 40,000 damage after one round. We saw after that 12-minute game, Modestina's Cassie had 50,000 damage. So he's on pace to more than triple Modestina's damage from last game.
Yeah, I mean, if that game even went that long, this game could be over after another push. The way they're playing, Dialer on an 11 streak. Exaction Cassie will roll in, hits one shot onto Fernando, misses the long shot onto Creatives, and that is important. The projectiles are curious things, and he will make sure that he takes on the Bomb King. But yet again, he falls thanks to Creatives' pressure. So this is the one light in the darkness for WASD. If Creatives can keep playing like this, they may have a chance.
They're first to fall here, and Sneck are losing this team fight in a big way. No kills found just yet, but Ultimate's coming through for WSD to keep everyone alive. Hexifier as well as the Immortal are going to be consumed.
And that is important. Eerie presence running by Spunky as well. Just give them the opportunity to miss and then immediately refire that heal, which is so important to keep those big tanks up. They've got Fernando, they've got Ruckus, and the objective, they've got that too. It's 2-1. WASD have made a great point fight, made a great comeback, and they are back in this game.
Comeback mechanic enabled and abused as well. 3 kills, though, answered for 50 Shades of Snake. Worm Jets on this Drogos for Lacey. Something I like to see, right? You know, we look at Fusillade, you look at even Combustible in some situations. Fusillade's kind of the most popular one that everyone's playing, but Lazy, even look at Reprieve, right? That's what everyone's playing. It's just not Lazy. It's not what he likes. It's not what he's comfortable with. It's not what he does well with. He'll take the off-meta legendaries, and he will do better with them than he will with the on-meta legendaries.
And I'm a big fan of doing what makes you comfortable. That is what's important here. There's no great, there's no better, there's no worse. It just depends on what makes you play better. A lot of times they synergize for players, but sometimes they don't. And that's okay too. As long as you're getting the most out of your performance, go ahead, play whatever you want, big boy, if you can carry the team. 3 streak for Lazy. He's running around with those Worm Jets, escaping maybe a precarious situation if he didn't have that movement speed. Turns around with a great salvo just for some pressure. But WASD, they're still unrelenting with this 2-tank push.
2 tanks trying to keep it going, but don't have the healer. Spunky does go down to Theo in the back line. Bad spot right now. Lazy's going to fall as well. Motocina catches that fire spit, sends it out. 2 kills for him. Amaker and Unbelievable somehow have been staying alive without their healer and made really, really good progress on this payload push.
Dialer getting focused by the Ruckus, and Dialer forced back about 100 yards there just in case he was getting a little bit more damage than he needed to without Saris's attention. Bird so good at commanding the presence on the battlefield, but also just being aware of who needs the healing when. There's the Convergence coming in, trying to make sure that they can get one big-time kill onto the 2 tanks. Kamaker will fall, but Unbelievable still alive and escapes into the barn room there. I don't know why I call that the barn room, Nick, but I guess that's what it is.
That's what it is now. You
ice,
ice mines, bro. Ice mines on the Frozen Guard. Motocina, 2 good kills, though. Unbelievable. Stays alive through that whole thing. Lazy with a nice little flank here, trying to just put some pressure on the camera because he rotates back into the fight. Not really going to pan out. Spunky's actually taking the 1v1 right now, and actually maybe coming out on top of this. Lazy, you better be careful before you embarrass yourself, son.
Theo up on top with Ancient Rage. This is a big-time ultimate that could swing a fight, but he misses the hook that would have pulled Unbelievable up onto the upper rafters, and now that puts a lot of pressure on the Bonker to withstand the Hexafire damage, but he goes down a little bit too early, and now it's looking like Mudastina, with the help of Unbelievable, could stay alive, but wow, Theo catches him before then. Bonker now looking to go down. He's got the heals from Saris, though, but overtime is ticking away.
Tick, 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 and it goes. No kills for WASD. The clock will expire, and WASD, despite spending a couple of ultimates there, are not going to find that offensive conversion. So Snek will benefit from the defense point, go up 3-1. The comeback mechanic remains enabled for WASD, so they'll have the faster capture rate in this round. But Snek with the definite ultimate charge advantage here. Saris, especially with her morale boost, which is now level 2, can definitely get that last 21% of her ultimate fairly quickly.
And Mudastina, he's looking to finish off very, very quick target on the other side. Because, of course, that is Dialer, who has been just having a fantastic game, carrying more than his own weight. Mudastina doing a great job as well. Dialer 9-5 in terms of actual kills and deaths. Mudastina 10-4. So despite all that, Mudastina even having a better statistical game in terms of efficiency on the map. But let's see if he can finish this 1v1. Theo and him looking to be approaching each other, not sure if they know where each other are coming from, and he wants to get away as soon as possible. Androx is very susceptible to the hook. Theo misses it, though, and now this could be a field day for Mudastina if he hits his shots.
Creatives moved in on Dialer a little bit early. Their ultimate's starting to come through on the point. Dialer walks into that Dread Serpent. Convergence comes through as well, but won't pull anyone.
And that is actually amazing by Theo. Uses on the other side of the battle, actually his Ancient Rage, just to solo survive against Mudastina, who takes the fight anyways, even though he's got 10k HP, and ultimately loses against the Ancient Rage and Turtle. So he challenged Makoa, Nick, and it didn't work.
Falls out, and that's, you know, it is a solo ult. It's not probably the dream Ancient Rage for Theo, but it keeps Mudastina busy. The most dangerous player right now on WASD was just ineffective in that fight just because he was running into a 10,000 H pool. Here comes the King Bomb on the backside, but Bird, the Shadow Travel is just going to be good, and Creatives with the lazy ult.
And that is a very lazy ult, but still he stays alive, which is super key about that. Lazy does take down Mudasina, but Bird is alive too. Saris, one of the least dying champions, I believe, as far as healers go. And that is going to help Snake to stay the course and get the victory.
Damage for Dialer by the end of that, 18 and 5 as well. And you mentioned, Modestina catching up a little bit there, but unable to carry as much weight. I think the big difference in this game, at least, was the Ruckus just wasn't quite as effective as it was on Bright Marsh, mostly because of just the map and the way these drafts panned out. There wasn't as many good targets for Kamikaze to just be shooting away at the whole time. Bonkers mitigating a ton of damage. So just by that factor, Kamikaze's damage is going to be effectively cut in half, because the tanks, by and large, are just kind of punching each other in the face and hoping that their flankers and damage champions kind of come out on top of all their respective 1v1s around the map.
Yeah, and it was a weird, I think, ending to the game where, Mudastina got caught out with Thiels, and they had this really long, really weird duel that took them both away from the fight. But because there was the secondary pressure of another tank like Inara, who could really solo tank right now with the Saris pocket healing her to stay on the point, they didn't lose anything. But WASD, they lost their flanker. I mean, Bomb King, he's a great damage dealer, but he's not the same type of flanker like Androx is. They have two tanks, but that's not the problem. Like, they've still got Lazy and Dialer able to go and do work onto that squad, whereas they really lost what they were really hoping for with Modestina on the lineup.
And that's the kind of low-key stuff that will lose you the fight. Modestina's distracted the whole time with an Ancient Rage, and then Creatives actually dove onto Dialer because he did have the advantage, but Saris, Bird there, spun around 180 and got a good heal off that basically topped off Dialer, and Dialer was able to come out on top of the 1v1. So Creative got overextended there, got a little bit jebaited out, and so now Creatives is dead, Modestina's distracted and eventually dies. There's no damage to support Kamikaze, unbelievable, and the staying power eventually runs out for WASD.
Well, let's head over to the map draft to see where game number 3 will take place. It will be showing up on your screen in just a moment. We've mentioned it before, but it will be Serpent Beach, a very traditional map. These two teams have had a lot of success. I would expect to see similar lineups here. I think we're right on the money for this meta in terms of the champions consistently being played. There's a lot of Ruckus, Androxus, Bomb King. You're going to see Saris. You're going to see probably Makoa and Inara. Now, will Dialer stay up on the Cassie is a real question for me. He seemed to have a better performance on this Cassie than he did on the Androxus in the previous game. So I wonder if they'll even prioritize that here. Serpent Beach and Androxus can be so good on that map specifically.
Absolutely. We'll have to see. I mean, it's all going to come down to the draft. What is WASD picking? I liked their draft, though. They had such a good time there. With those picks, I like all the adjustments they made. It looked like they weren't afraid to get everybody where they felt they needed to be. And all those picks, frankly, I felt were very good for WASD and their respective characters. But sometimes it's hard to account for Dialer just having that type of round. You know what I mean? When somebody does that, when somebody just goes off, it's really, you can't point to a draft issue. You can't point to anyone's fault, really. It's all about that superstar play.
Absolutely, man. So we're going to head out to a quick break. We're going to try and correct a couple of things on our end and make sure we got the best presentation possible for this next game. We'll be back in just a moment after that and be ready to show you game 3 here of the semifinals.
So cover me, 'cause 'Cause I'ma let you out, I'ma let you in. You're my enemy. If you would let me go, I will let you in. So cover me, 'cause I'ma let you out, I'ma let you in. You're my enemy. If you would let me go, I need to confess. Need to confess. Need to confess. Need to confess.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here. We got the action ready to go on our end. It is going to be the third game of the best of 5 set heading into the finals, the current semifinals here versus Snake and WASD. On the side of WASD, it will be Unbelievable leading the charge with Mother's Grace and Nara, Recurve Shaolin for Munastina following suit, Reprieve Eevee for Creatives, Pluck Makoa for Kamaker, and Ripen Gourd for Moldamba and Spunky.
Snack looking for their third and final win here. We'll have Aerial Assault for Bonkars, Ruckus with a Cauterize, Theo with a Cauterize of his own, and an Aegis Fernando. Bird's got the Mortal Reach for his Ceres Accelerant, for Lazy's Bomb King with a Wrecker, and Dark Stalker for Dylas and Droxus. So 3 Cots and a Wrecker, 2 Cot, 2 Wrecker for WASD.
Now, Bomb Kings, keeping an eye on Lazy, can usually make or break the start of these fights. Gets a lot of damage off in the beginning, throws the shield down, so already no defensive cooldowns on the side of WASD. However, Dyler, he's going to be one to look out for as well. And First Blood, though, going to Theo on the back of some great pressure on the left-hand side in the upper balconies. Dyler already with a 1 streak, looking to make it a few more. Mudastin is very low, Nick, but he goes down to Spunky.
Yeah, Blazy gonna get that kill. Spunky does take down Dyler on the Maldamba. Pretty interesting trade there. Creatives finds Birds as well. So, you know, half the fight's being won by Snick, half the fight's being lost by Slick. Nobody with a clear lead just yet, but a long-range kill onto Spunky. Lazy is on fire right now on a 4 streak.
And this Aegis Fernando, so good with the Ceres, because you really have to invest into Wrecker and wait until late game to just get that shield down. It will not come off of cooldown with this legendary unless he deploys it himself, and also gets an extra 8 seconds off the cooldown. So just a lot more shield, a lot more Fernando. He will fall, though, if you CC him, and that's what Kamaker is able to do. Nice shots there by Creatives. Ice blocks to immune some of the damage from Ceres and just backs off from that fight.
Doing his best, putting a lot of damage too. Huge 1100 damage shots onto Bonkar, slays him down. Ice Storm is ready to go. Creatives just looking for the angle. Theo trying to get up and onto the point here. This is 2 minutes and 15 seconds with no payload capture. WSD just now getting over halfway.
A lot of investment by Creatives here in the flank position to try and kill Ceres, but it's such a hard job. That shadow travel with Veil 3 happens so quickly, but not if you cripple her. Can't get out of dodge there and still can't find her. Finally, Bird goes down, and because she's got the upward mobility, heads to the top part of Serpent Beach and is safe and excluded from any damage there. Lazy, though, might get picked off. He gets a great King Bomb, but Creative's still in the back line, and Theo could be the next to fall. Rampage for the Winter Witch.
Monastina going in, as well as Creatives has been carrying a lot of weight in this fight. 6 streak yet to go down. Dyler going to be able to get onto the point, just trading his life for an overtime. Bonker's trying to get in here. A lot of mitigation as well as the Ceres, and there's a big Hexafire.
I love this too. Shadow travel forced out by the Ceres. The immunity from Bonker is going to help him to not be susceptible to a lot, but he is relentless. Creatives is just on Ceres every second he can get. Bird has no moment to sleep, and there's another one. This is fantastic flanker play, and WASD looking to stay in control of this fight.
Sneck trying to take it back, though. A lot of ultimates try and do it. Modestina in Heat Haze is going to be boxed out by Dyler and by Lazy. Somehow, some way, they knew exactly where he was. And just more ultimates coming out, finding more value for 50 Shades of Sneck. I think more team fight winning ultimates as well. Hexafire, King Bomb, you got Convergence as well, Cursed Arm. WASD, you know, Ancient Rage, Seismic Crash, Ice Storm, Heat Haze, they're all kind of like setup or utility.
Yeah, and they had to work so hard. I mean, part of it is that despite how well Creatives played, he had to work so hard to get that kill onto Bird. And imagine how much more efficient he could be if he could, you know, like an Eevee wants to do, pop in, 1 shot, 2 shot, finish you off, and then move on to the next piece of business. But Sarah's so good at staying alive.
Tyler Spunky's actually been getting a lot of frags onto Dyler. I think that's the second I've seen this game. Modestina finds 2 frags of his own. 2 minutes remain, so plenty of time for Sneck here, but you know, every second matters against these top teams. Great wall from Unbelievable as well, pinning Theo in and helping Modestina find his 3rd kill of this engagement.
Good shots by Munastina also. Just 1,000 damage and, you know, those extra big, long, silent arrows that can really change the tide of a fight and put somebody into a death threshold when they're not expecting it can help to change this battle. Heat Haze is ready, but he's on the defensive. Doesn't want to give up too much too early. A lot of soul orbs traveling, and on the left side, a great impale comes through. There's the shield, though, and they're going to wait for those records to come through in the next couple of rounds to really burn those down quickly.
This would be good. I'd be curious to see how this fight goes. Now that Creatives is dead, but Dialer is dead as well, so Bunker up on the high ground, actually flanking everybody. Thiel does fall on the front line, so gonna need to get that frontliner back to where he belongs. Bonkar refusing to be held down by his role in 2017. He's gonna head to the back line, find a kill onto Creatives for his troubles.
And Unbelievable, who is trying to kill Bird, gets baited out into Dialer, who helps to finish them off. And this is just not looking good for WASD. Dialer comes around the backside again, misses a few shots on Androxus. Again, mentioned had a little bit of a better performance on Cassie, I think. I like him on that champion a little bit more, but still doing a great job and at the right place at the right time.
A lot of high-risk stuff coming out right now. Lazy up on the high ground. Bonker's still up there, barely staying alive. Lazy keeping the momentum going. Bird keeping everybody topped off, getting his team, allowing them to make these high-risk plays. There's the Immortal, though, from Thiel, trying to keep everybody alive. Got to keep this momentum going.
And there's the Ice Storm, though. It's going to lock down Lazy, and he's going to be able to go into the Ice Block. Full reset of the health. Bonker could be in trouble here. Dialer's got his number, but Creatives, he's always looking for Bird if he can. But Bird just such a pro player, such a good mind for the game. He knows how to stay safe, and Spunky knows how to keep his teammates safe. Munastina with 2, Kamiker with another one, and this will be a successful defense for the side of WASD.
Modestina, they're cutting off all the sustain for 50 Shades of Sneck, and probably what turned the team fight there was already starting to go WASD's way, but with that one legendary Impaler arrow, Modestina makes sure, puts his foot down and says WASD are holding this defense.
You know, right now, taking a look at the healing charts, Spunky is out healing Saris, and I think that makes that's a good point for him to be at. And he's actually out damaging her by about 10,000 damage. So he's contributing a lot to this fight. He does have the Inara on his side, but I think a lot of that can be related to the fact that Creatives is constantly putting so much pressure on Saris and forcing her into those shadow travels and defensive states.
That definitely helps, but that's later. At this stage of the game, it is 100% because of Creatives just keeping the pressure on the Bird, making him have, you know, how many deaths does he guys? 4 deaths already. That's like normally how much he has over the course of a full-length game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The pressure has been on, and I love this committed approach there. As a flanker, talking about what you need to do, get those healers and those damage dealers out of the game. But look at that. Lazy comes in, big bombs, ready to frag, and 27% now for WASD, but they're a man down.
Comes the King Bomb, but Inara, CC immune in the Earthen Guard. Lazy's just looking for someone. Classic. Gonna hit Modestina, gonna be able to take him out. Does find the ultimate in the back line there, but a nice wall and a nice fear. Puts Lazy in a rough spot.
Big stun there by Spunky. Gets one onto Dialer. He wants to get another one. Healing Unbelievable at the same time. Bonker walks into the Gordon. Spunky's going to slither away. Throwing the stun again. Gets Thiel. Spunky playing lights out right now. Showing his prowess as a player in Paladins. Not just the healer. And helping to keep his team nice. Toasty on the point. Another stun. Great convergence. Will this turn the tide? Spunky can immune it. And this does look to be WASD's point.
Bonker has no more HP. Bird went down way too early. The huge kills coming through. WASD total control right now. Dialer trying to find something in the backside. Lazy's all alone as well. Complete breakdown there from Sneck towards the end.
And this is really, to me, captained off the back of Spunky's performance. That point fight could have gone a lot of ways, but so much shielding Bonker and Thiel provide with the Fernando and the Ruckus. The fact that they get stunned out of that, the fact that you're stunning him out of his Aegis and putting him into that vulnerable place really can help turn the tide of his there it is, another one right there of his ability to stay in the fight.
Rolling right now. WSD have so much momentum. It's just like complete shatter
Another
of the
one.
plan here.
Oh my God.
Most Spunky getting up. He's getting in there. He's looking to frag in the backline. Creatives pressuring out Bird. This is such a different Sneck team right now without Bird supporting. This is the difference your support players make. Look at Sneck just fall apart when Bird is not there to keep them all alive.
Look at Snake. Look at the Snake on Spunky right now. This man is hitting mid-air, upper-level stuns and finishing him off himself. He's his own setup, his healing, and his own follow-up damage. This man gets one on the Lazy and forces him out. There's a nice ultimate. He's going to finish off Dialer. Holy moly, Spunky is doing the unthinkable. What a shell shield by Kamiker. Keeps an R alive long enough, but the Immortal and the Hexafire combo is going to force them back for now. Will another stun come through? There it is. Mudastina with the kill. The Ripened Gore is going to help to display that no front line can stand up to this damage at the moment, and Lazy falls. Bird's the only one left. Dialer in the air with the ultimate. Can they hold on?
Mudastina already 3 kills before he gets shut down, though. Creatives is very healthy. Spunky's still alive, drawing so much attention in this fight. Finally, they take him down. How much longer can WASD last without their sustained? Theo putting his shield up. It's going to be a good amount of stall here. Lazy's return and the respawn proximity advantage starting to go the way of Snake.
Convergence could be used, but they may give it up. But oh my God, aren't we looking at this as if it's 2 seconds left? There's still 35 seconds on the clock for them to be able to push this through, and Unbelievable is alive and healthy. Creatives, Mudastina get a kill on a Dialer and Bird, and that's a big deal. Bonker goes down, and that's a successful push. This is absolute fantastic play by WASD. They are showing up big and really off the back of some incredible setup by Spunky.
Great heat haze there as well, and staying power just from Unbelievable Zanar to be able to hold out just barely long enough. Mudastina driving home a bunch of kills, keeping Unbelievable alive indirectly, just as a result of there's no damage coming from Snake because they're all dead. And then somehow, some way, all 5 members able to reconvene on the point there, get the capture. So Snake, they're going to have the comeback mechanic this round, so they're not out of this one yet. They do have the convergence, but no other ultimates available. Lazy's about 1 shot away from his King Bomb. That combination is going to have to go big.
Hey, look at Deal's itemization right now. You know what's been the pressure for him. Resilience, popping him out of that shield. Aegis, that means you want your shield up as much as possible, but Spunky's making him put it down because of the consistent stuns on top of him. So he said, no, I'm popping out of that a lot faster. Lots of damage on the right side. Spunky now getting focused, but Bonker is going to have to fall back to the point thanks to Mudastina's Impaler Arrow, and this damage means that he can't run for long. Nice kill. Lazy falls up 1 onto Creatives, though. 19 to 12% on the objective so far.
There's the convergence coming through. It's going to pull 3 big King Bomb Wombo combo there for Lazy and Bird. That's exactly what Snake needed to get things going. 4 kills for nothing.
Love that play. Oh, my God. And this is the power of convergence. Bird just shows off. We've been talking so much about Spunky. Bird says, I got to get my name in the hat, and he throws out an amazing ultimate. This could change the game. This, in fact, could end the game right here because WASD have to get on. If they can't touch it now, the set is over. The game is over. All that they've worked for could be lost. Kamiker on the point, trying to change things up. Pulls Dialer after the reversal, and now he's going to get hit with the Ice Storm. Nice Dread Serpent combo. They lose the tank, but the damage is still there. Spunky, he's been the key, but the objective is captured, and now Snake are back and in business. WASD lose out on a big game-changing point.
Spunky goes down as well. Theo trying to stay alive here, gets a clutch shield up and pushes that one through for 50 Shades of Snake. Coming back from spawn now. WASD trying to get things going. Here's Bonker back up on the high ground once again on his ruckus. It worked for him last round. Let's see if WASD can make the adjustment.
Unbelievable, pressuring out Bird, and I feel like he's going to force the shadow travel very soon. But Bird doesn't like to stay in it very long. Gets him almost with the wall, but thanks to Creatives now following through, it could just be that Bird goes down, and he will. Bonker now falling under the weight of the cauterized 3 that Unbelievable is spraying and praying onto the back line of Snake. And they will install this push for now with Lazy looking to retreat and reposition.
This is looking like a bit of an Achilles heel. We know Bird is the in-game leader for 50 Shades of Snake, makes a lot of the calls and communications, as well as, it's very easy for him to get frustrated if things aren't going their way. And I imagine under all of this pressure, how cool can he keep his head, right? He's got to keep, eyes on the ground here, looking forward to what the prize is at the end of the day. Snake, they can't fall apart every time they lose Bird.
I mean, what you're saying, too, is that the comms could be like, guys, help me. Right now, I'm getting focused. It's pretty obvious who they're trying to kill. Why are we not having one of our 2 tanks out here to protect me? It's not as easy as it sounds, but this could be something going on in the heads of the captain for 50 Shades of Snake as he's getting focused relentlessly by these flankers. A nice shot there. Oh, the impale from Mudastina with basically 10 health to his name means that he'll help kill Lazy, and Creatives and him still applying pressure.
Back up on the high ground. Mudastina stays alive. Kamiker bailing him out. Bonker advancing around, looking for an angle, looking for something here. He's going to go for it, and he'll make it in just 2 advanced charges. Very cool stuff to see Ruckus taking these flanking routes. We're used to just Androx is taking. Stunned out by Spunky, though, eating a lot of damage. Bonker is forced home.
No, nice Dread Serpent as well. He's going after Theo, but the resilience will pop him out sooner than Spunky probably anticipated. He knows he's got to try to hit a stun, and he's going for Dialer this time around. 2 big shots, though the Haven will mitigate it to about 387. Theo will do a conga dance and unfortunately fall back to base, and this could be Snake just giving it up. Lazy on the top ledge, trying to maybe start this and keep it into overtime, but it looks pretty helpless in my eyes.
They are aware of him. Hooked off the high ground. Threading the needle. Kamiker will find him. Bonker can't get there. So 3-2 reads the scoreboard. Snek have a long hill to climb after giving up that conversion in round 2. And one more sneak of the payload capture for WSD. They're going to come away with their first game of the set and keep themselves alive. But heading on over to the items here, WASD have hit their full stride with their cauterizes as well as their wreckers. So not a whole lot Bird can do at this point to try and keep everybody alive. Not a whole lot Theo and Bonker can do to try to keep themselves shielded as well. It's going to have to come down to a very, coordinated strike to get healing off at this point in the game, because the shields aren't going to give them that window, and the cauterizes certainly aren't going to allow for anything to come through. Bonker does have the Rejuvenate 3, though, which will help a little bit.
There's a lot of damage being dealt in this game, Nick. Talking about Spunky, 51,000 damage already as a Maldamba, and definitely leading the healing charts almost at 100K. I mean, having a really well-rounded performance. And with these ultimates and the seismic crash, you're looking at which well-rounded stun can impact this team fight the most. He's got the stone, the obelisk, helping to give him a little bit of damage reduction and slow anyone that gets near, but he's going to pull back to the ripened gourd. Bonker now facing a lot of troubles, and here's the Earthen Guard coming to play, gives him the full heals back, and Dialer just doesn't know what to do. He's running.
Ancient Rage, nice bait here from Kamiker. Finds Lazy, might find Theo as well. Hooks on a little bit more cooldown, lands the cannon shot anyway. 2 big kills for Kamiker, carrying a ton of weight in that fight for his team. And 84% here, this is looking good for WASD.
I feel that, Nick, we talked about it already. Here's the seismic crash coming through, maybe just to seal the deal. CC immune. Ruckus means that he's not going to deal with much. Earthen Guard CC immune. Inara means that she won't get stunned. And now a stunned Theo with resilience means he won't stay stunned. But a great shot from the Stone Spear will mean that Kamiker, Creatives, and WASD get them some, as in a victory. Making sure this set keeps on going. Trying to push it to the limit here.
On the board, Snek, they got work to do now. They got to turn this one around. That can happen oftentimes. If you're up 2-0, you get too comfortable. You stop worrying, stop talking as much. Maybe a lot of things changing here, though, from WASD's draft. Creatives definitely having a really good game. 89,000 damage. Bird with 10 deaths as well. Probably the most we've seen from him in a long time. And as a result, everybody on his team has a lot of deaths to boot. 17 on Dialer, 16 for Bonker, 17 for Lazy. Bird was just under so much pressure. It was very difficult for him to keep his team alive. And that's a tough adjustment for Snek to make. They're so used to being ahead, so used to being in the lead, so used to being able to get away with all of the aggression that they normally play with. But the difference here from Creatives putting all that pressure on Bird was just immense.
And this is also just Mudasina, I think, having a great performance, staying consistent. He's played well each game. He may not have been the star each time. I think Creatives may take that from me, just the pressure he put onto Bird. This might have just been a great lineup decision. Evie, really one of the only flankers that can traverse that space so fast that she can really put that much pressure onto Saris, which she continued to do. But this is also, I think, just a masterclass performance from Spunky all around. Not only did he not have the same pressure that was being applied to him, that Bird was having applied to him, but he just did all the right things. I mean, 60,000 damage from your healer, like a Maldamba, is a really high number. 17,000 ahead of Bird in that regard. And then also just 20,000 ahead in terms of healing. Very, very great stuff by Spunky. And it goes to show WSD are still in this set, ready to fight.
Out that game, you can honestly point to every single member of WSD and be like, wow, this guy made these really good plays here, A, B, and C. And that type of performance from an all-around team as strong as WSD, that's basically guaranteed wins. You can't fight that.
So let's take a look at the next map that this will be on. And we've already gone through 3 games. That could have been it, but Fish Market will be an interesting one. This is where D69 And 50 Shades of Snake ended their last great set last weekend where it was a 2-0 lead for 50 Shades of Snake. D69 pulled it all the way back, and it went to the final game, went 3-3 here on this very map. I wonder if we'll see some similar stuff coming from WASD this time around, or 50 Shades of Snake will win yet again. We'll see here in just a moment. We're going to a quick break, and we'll be bringing you game number 4 on Fish Market versus these two great teams. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fish Market, where WASD and 50 Shades of Snake will be playing their fourth game of this set, best of 5, seeing who will move through. It's WASD trying to climb back 2 games already to 50 Shades of Snake, looking to make it 3. Bird, he'll be on Saris, running Mortal Reach. Exaction Cassie for Dialer, who had a great performance on her in Frozen Guard a few games ago. Recurve Shaolin for Lazy. Mother's Grace Inara for Bonker. And Pluck Makoa for Theo.
No Ruckus this time. Unbelievable is going to be on Aegis Fernando. Accelerant for Modestina's Bomb King. Haven't seen that in a minute. Ripen Gourd for Spunky's Maldamba. Kamaker will be on the Dark Stalker. Androxus Creatives running back the Reprieve Eevee as it worked so well in shutting down Bird Saris in the previous game.
And we'll see if Spunky can continue to have such a fantastic play that he's been doing and just controlling the pace of the fight for the frontliners and really giving the edge to his team. Earthen Guard to CC Immune, the Grumpy Bomb damage on point, but Bonker's already half health. And if Saris does get pressured out at the wrong time, this could be bad. First blood for Lazy on the Creatives, but Bonker receiving a lot of pressure right now. 200 health to his name, and he will be slain. Mudastina on the Bomb King will get the credit for that one.
Oh, Theo goes down as well. Modestina finds another clutch kill there. Spunky trying to stay alive, trying to get out. Nobody on the point right now for Snek, despite coming away with that team fight there. Bird's going to go ahead and get on there. Shadow Travel. I'm surprised we're not seeing Bird running Fade to Black or anything like that for Saris. So just have that Shadow Travel up, be that much more hard to kill after the focus that we saw in the previous game.
Well, you know, what he's really prioritizing here, and I think this has been a key to his success, is Veil 3. It's really getting himself into Shadow Travel as fast as possible when he gets people like Creatives blinking onto him. But sometimes he just pops out very early, and sometimes that secondary aggression is what's really keeping him down, and they've been doing a great job of that. WASD still losing on this fight thus far, 93% in Bonker. Feeling healthy and toasty on the objective. Mudastina is going to give this one up and just try and regroup with his team.
I mean, just look at how many members are so low from Snek right now. When those kills aren't confirmed, I mean, they're still as dangerous as they were with full health. So easily able to come away with that one. Snek with the first payload of the game. Unbelievable in a pretty rough spot as well. Modestina goes down. Unbelievable. Looks like he's going to go down as well. A lot of kills still trickling through for Snek, and that's just going to give a ton of momentum for this payload push. They're probably going to be able to make it all the way to the hill, or if not the top of the hill, before WASD can really put up another defense.
One of the interesting things there, I think we're seeing here, Nick, is I think we talked about Kamaker. We talked about Kamaker last weekend and his Bomb King. We weren't really impressed. We thought it might have been a weak point for WASD. Now, Mudastina, although Androxus is on this squad, is being played by Kamaker. Androxus is being played by Kamaker, and Mudastina has taken the reins of the Bomb King. So clearly this echoed not only into our cast, but into their actual team decisions here. Very interesting lineup choice.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff can happen. A good parallel I think we could draw is maybe Denial having Stolzy and Prince Danny, right? You know, you got Eve, you need your Shaolin, you need your Victor, you need your Androxus. You know, if you're going to have a net gain when you're putting Prince Danny on Androxus, despite how good Stolzy is, maybe you just Stolzy's that much better than Danny on the other pick, you know? And you got to go for the net gain. You got to go for the highest total value of skill played across all your champions.
You just mentioned those low picks, too, as well for 50 Shades of Snake, something we probably would be seeing, you know, an Androxus love to just be after, but so far had a little bit of a quiet game. The Accursed Arm is ready, but the Earthen Guard will immune with a Seismic Crash to follow up anything Modestina likes to do. Up in the air is Kamaker, but he'll have to be forced away thanks to the damage and just the numbers advantage now that has been given at 250 Shades of Snake. Spunky takes down Dialer in a 1v1, which is, again, super impressive. And an Immortal here could start to turn the tide.
Push here for WASD. Convergence is ready for Bird. Bonker needs some help, though. He's going to get the healing through. Here's the opportunity now for the Convergence to come through. The Fernando shield drops. So, so many members from Team Snek are going to be dropping low here. It looks like they might just hang on to their ults.
Triple kill for Kamaker in the back line. Questioning this man is something you may just not want to do. Feeling very confident on the Androxus. He's got to take it to Dialer now, and it seems like they've all committed to that action, and that will be processed very, very quickly. Kamaker, another kill, takes 4 out of 5 in this last hold and gives WASD the confidence and the results they need to tie this thing up.
So items starting to come through. The big key here is, can WASD afford their tier 2s from that defense? And it looks like they can. Unbelievable. Plenty of credits to spare here. Caught 2 and a Master Riding just for funsies. Cauterized 2 for Modestina as well as Kamaker. So they're going to be able to keep up with the offensive tiers here from 50 Shades of Snek. Ultimates definitely in favor of Snek. Convergence, Ancient Rage still ready to go. And I think the turning point in that round, frankly, was Dialer losing the 1v1 with Spunky in that backline. 100%.
100%. I mean, this is how supports like players like Spunky turn the tides of a fight. That was easily everything going for 50 Shades of Snake. And all of a sudden, you expect your damage carry to be the support on the enemy team when he's at, 200 below health. But he's standing in Gourd and he's Spunky, and he changes that fact. All of a sudden, Riping Gourd now available on the point, and Bonker's getting a little bit of pressure. Unbelievable experiencing that one himself, and Theo looking to really get Spunky out of the fight with a hook, but he's got some movement to get away from that. But it will take away from the healing he can do to Unbelievable, who falls thanks to Bonker's aggression, and now Spunky will fall again too.
Ooh, Modestina finds a nice thread there, taking down Dialer. 2 kills for 1 right now in favor of 50 Shades of Snake. Bird trying to keep everybody up. Not under a lot of pressure right now, and that needs to change. That was what was working for WSD in the previous round, and now they're just pressuring out the tank. Bonker's going to pop the Mother's Grace here. He's just going to get all that health right back. Here comes the Convergence as well, but Unbelievable going to be able to block it with his shield.
Oh, Lazy, great job with the long-range pressure, helping to zone away from Bird when Eevee Creative starts flying in. He's going in the Heat Haze, immune and, not immune, but invisible and firing a little bit faster. It's going to help to make his great escape. King Bomb coming through, though. Modestina looking to find one, but Lazy, the only one to get a kill. 2 kills for his name. Dialer gets another one. The Bow Brothers coming in strong, and Bonker will finish things up as 50 Shades of Snake take the second objective capture as well.
Another 300 credits to their pockets. Bonker finds that kill, gets healed up by Bird as well, who's already back to 35% on that Convergence ultimate. So good stuff there from WASD to try and hold that one off, but Snake are going to take a little bit more of a credit lead as well, as every time they capture this payload, 300 more credits just go into their bank account. So 600 just by default. Inherent lead right now. Bird has to get on this payload right now to keep things rolling, and that's the cool thing about Saris, is she can still heal this fight from that far away.
2 big stats, Snake. 1 and 7 for creatives right now. 2 and 7 actually. Finds himself a kill on Dialer, but 0 and 6 for Unbelievable. 0 finishing blows, which is not necessary for a Fernando to have to do. But what this tells me is that he's just not had a great game. Hasn't really been impactful. Fish Market, a lot of open space. Not necessarily great for what Fernando likes to do, which is be up in your face with that Flame Lance.
If you take a look at the damage shielded chart, Evan, you'll notice he's sitting at about 42,000, having a pretty righteous shielding game on this Fernando.
Righteous shielding. You're right. I'm sorry. I totally didn't think about the shielding he was doing, man. He's got Aegis. He's doing his job. But, sometimes you look at the damage charts, right? And you say, sure, he's got the shielding, but let's look at where Inara is. 36,000 damage. Fernando, 23,000, a far cry away from that. And maybe that's the strength of Inara right now. Maybe that's the map space too big for Fernando to really be impactful and get to those back lines easily. Maybe it's just Unbelievable in the squad not having the best synergistic game with this tech.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the big skill caps of Fernando is knowing when to drop that shield, when to get aggressive, knowing when you're not commanding enough aggro in the fight, and just having to get aggressive with your Flame Lance. Big white coming through, though, for Snek. They're in a good spot to maybe find this conversion. They won't win the game here, but they're in a good spot to go up 3-1.
Absolutely important here. The Convergence is available. To remember that means that you might remember the death is upon you at any moment in time. Lazy gets another kill. Unbelievable. He does have the Immortal, and that's important. The Dread Serpent's here too. 22 seconds left, so this is crunch time for everyone. Bonker getting healed up. And no such thing for Unbelievable. He will fall yet again, and a push successful for 50 Shades of Snake.
Even tried to get it off there, which is kind of confusing. I mean, going into this round now, I mean, you can cut your losses and say, all right, this is probably a lost cause here, but you go down 3-1, you enable the comeback mechanic because you're being down 2 points. You have a lot of ultimates to guarantee you get this payload, but it is a risk that WASD seem willing to take.
And unfortunately, they've been put in this situation because things haven't worked out. For me, it's not necessarily knowing that we have ultimates, we can change this pace. Fish Market's a weird map to where sometimes the best route, the best, actual strategy to start it is really undefined. A lot of players have not mastered this map. This is a map that goes 3-3 oftentimes. People don't really figure it out consistently. We don't see a ton of 4-0s here. And so sometimes, unless the Kinessa is there, it's really unclear as to where's the best route to take to really help my team.
Theo finding a nice stretch anchor up on the high ground here. No kills off the back of it just yet, but Lazy's looking for one. Kamikaze is going to find him, though. Unfortunately, Dialer will trade out with Modestina here. Picks him up, and now falling low himself here. A lot of good aggression coming out from WASD, and the cauterized pressure is really having an impact as well.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge. The fact that they got the kills at the right time. Kamikaze gets Bonker, but Now Creatives and puts the pressure onto Theo and Saris. Bird's still there, but Theo, he's falling so low, and it took so long for him to die. And with the comeback mechanic, Nick, this is going to be really hard for them to actually aggress onto this point or even step a foot onto it before it's captured.
You can see how fast it's going. 70, 74, 78, 81 now. Starting to slow down, trying to get in there. Bonkers trying to contest. There's a convergence as well. A lot of follow-up coming through, but Modestina knows exactly where that came from. He's going to king bomb it and clean it up.
That's such a good shield, too. I mean, it's so important to realize that the Sarasol doesn't pull down the shields and then pops the Immortal to make sure no further follow-up is available. This is all WASD. They pulled this thing around, and with some great performances, I love the way that they supported Unbelievable onto the objective. He's on a 4 streak now. He's got a kill to his name. This is what they need to see from the big Spaniard.
Now here comes the zoning as well. Nice poppy bomb just to knock Bonker for a loop. Throw him off to the side. Unbelievable holding down the front line for as long as he could with that Fernando shield, but all those late game wreckers coming online for WASD, forcing him back a little bit early. And this is just the nature of the payload push, right? You can't really hold out in this open field. You have to try and pick and choose your fights once this payload starts to round the corner.
Yeah, that's the key. And so now they've got to see if they can get one pick, maybe follow up on a stun. Spunky's been playing well lately, and this is a good Dread Serpent. Almost forces Inara to walk off the map, but just a little bit unfortunate aim in terms of where she was walking and doesn't get the intended result for that ult. But he has plenty of time. I mean, 1 minute and 38 seconds. I think at the very least, he'll be close to being able to use it next fight. But this is something that he's got to start paying attention to now.
Minute 30 here. Cassie almost ready to go on her scout. Seismic Crash is available for 50 Shades of Sneck, and that's about it. WSD were holding all their ultimates for that team fight, trying to keep themselves in the game. They took a gamble. It paid off for the time being, but they still have a long way to go, especially if they don't find this conversion. It's going to be that 3-2 scenario still. No defense point available this round for 50 Shades of Sneck. WSD, though, looking to get things kicked off once again. Kamaker gets shut down mid-air, or Creatives, excuse me, in the backline as he's soaring in looking for a frag.
And this is because they're doing such a good job of supporting Bird now. They know that he is the target. They know that's who they're trying to shut down. And as Dialer knocks off with a great disengage, unbelievable into the water, this is a great synergistic, I think, address of the issue. This is Bird saying they are trying to kill me. If you guys let me die, you all will die subsequently. So Lazy, Dialer, they're paying a lot more attention to the backline healer.
Ooh, but caught out right now. Dialer could be in a bad spot. Missed his roll shot as well, trying to get his way back to his team. Nice wall. There's the peel from 50 Shades of Sneck, covering for one of their teammates' mistakes.
Yeah, and Lazy gets a great follow-up kill. He's been contributing a lot with Shaolin. With Shaolin, he can still do a lot of damage from a long way away. Doesn't have to stand near Saris to still kill someone who's near Saris, as long as he's got the open lines of sight. Creatives, though, have a bit of a rough patch in this last kind of moment. And so going to try and find Theo may not be the answer to solving it. But Dialer gets a good shot, but still getting healed by Saris will mean he ends up with a good amount of health left. Spunky will fall, and it's still 3-2 for 50 Shades.
But again, pretty much every ultimate available here except for that scout. Probably the least impactful ult in terms of the team fight here, coming up 3-2 in favor of Sneck. This could be the set. This payload is found by 50 Shades here. So WSD going to do everything that they can to hold on. Not a whole lot of major items coming through, just seeing some flavor stuff like Rejuvenates, a couple of Master Ridings being picked up just to have that contest. Especially important if you go down, because this is a very long map, very wide open. It takes a long time to ride back from spawn if you do go down. Master Riding is going to give you almost that second life in the team fight. It's going to give you that second chance if for some reason you find yourself dead. Veteran 2 as well from Bird. That's going to help him heal up, coming out of his shadow travel, hopefully staying alive a little bit longer against this EV pressure.
And look at the other game now. Look at this game. Look at the other game. 120,000 healing for Saris. Only 62,000 for Spunky on Maldamba. So completely different. But right now, Creatives has the right idea. Nice blink. He's going to force the shadow travel very soon. But look, he's looking to support Theo, who's actually taken a lot of damage. Ancient Rage could be available, but he knows he doesn't want to use it quite yet. Bird almost dead and actually misses the last shot onto him. Creatives. Oh, he's going to be wishing that he finished off that Oracle of the Abyss.
That's so clutch to be able to pick that up. And now he goes down. That's the big swing in the fight for WASD. They lost their flank pressure. Modestina is going to try to pick up the slack here with the King Bomb into the backline. Kamaker finds Dialer. Ultimate's crashing on the point, trying to stay alive as WASD.
Good Immortal, though, it will immune a lot of the potential damage, but in many ways, you wanted to die a little sooner. Now they can't regroup as 5 fast enough. However, they've got some ultimates on the side of WAC that could change things. Creatives, he wants to get in, and he's going to actually throw the Ice Storm down. It's not going to hit many, but Bonker will help to keep himself alive for the time being. Out of the air, comes down, and there is Thiel with 2 of his own. Unbelievable, looking very lonely on the point. This could just be the end of the game.
Falling very quickly. Bonker receiving all that healing. Beautifully timed Earthen Guard alongside the Mortal Reach heal coming out for Bonker. Keeping him alive for so long. He's been given so many health bars in this engagement, as well as charging Bird's ultimate at 60%, almost ready to come out again.
And this is Creatives, his last hope and dream, but unfortunately that will be crushed. Just like the thumper down on the ground for Inara signals that they have ended the hopes of their challenger, WASD. 50 Shades of Snake will move on to the finals and represent that side of the bracket against whoever is able to come through. Let's take a look at the scoreboard as well, Nick. Break down just kind of how that game unfolded.
Adjustments, man. Adjustments, Creatives. The pressure just wasn't there this time around. Bird only with 2 deaths to his name. The veteran pickup, pretty cool little flavor pick to help stay alive against the burst from Eevee. It's almost similar to how you could look at Reprieve for her. So she's going to pop that ice block. She's going to get all her health back. Bird, he's going to pop his Shadow Travel, get out of combat, and then Veteran's going to be what's giving him all of his health back, as well as just the natural out of combat regeneration. But that's the big difference here. 61,000 damage for the Eevee, not quite the amount of punch that she had last time around, and only 2 deaths for Bird. Whereas you look at Spunky's damage, 58,000 on the Maldamba. He should probably not be keeping up with Eevee.
Yeah, probably not. And, you know, I think this is a testament to how good Spunky's been using that gourd and his own just basic attacks as Maldamba, which can be weird to hit, to actually contribute effectively to the fight in terms of damage, you know, doubling Bird's damage like they're seeing. But he just couldn't stay with her. The healing was just too much. And the way that him and Bonker were synergizing with the Earthen Guard and the healing from that really allowed them to maximize so much more of the late game pressure, like you talk about a lot, of really sustaining in a fight longer when cauterized 3s are on the table. That's going to be it for this set. And of course, in the finals, if you take a look at the brackets, you'll see that 50 Shades of Snake are moving on to face off against Flashpoint Paladins. So the Flashpoint squad that's been a lot of these ESLs that you've seen in our tournaments for high res over the weekend, they'll be facing off against 50 Shades of Snake. There's no D69 to contest either of these teams. So it's a new type of finals here, but it's ESL. Anything can happen. A lot of great competition with all these teams. I'm going to be taking a break, but we will have High Res, Pretty Hair, Nick Keogh, and Vox Temp is back on the mic for the finals, guys. So don't go anywhere. Enjoy yourselves, and we'll be right back with the end of this great tournament.
Don't be afraid, won't let you fall, girl. Don't be afraid, won't let you fall, girl. we first met, I thought my eyes would fall straight out of my head. Guess we all live in proof of love at first sight. But now we both see love in a different light. Keeping love alive is a tricky thing. You gotta let it fly, gotta give it wings. If you wanna make it right, don't let it fry. Don't hold on too tight, you know you gotta try. Keeping love alive. Keeping love alive. Keeping love alive. Still here we are, my friend, over 10 years down the road. 3 kids in a big old house, can't weigh a heavy load. Well, I gotta give it to you, don't know how you found the time. Making all ends meet while running down that line. Keep it love alive, it's a tricky thing. You gotta let it fly, you gotta give it wings. If you wanna make it right, don't let it fly. Don't hold on too.
Hello and welcome back then, champions, to this ESL Go4Paladins Europe Cup. We're into the grand finals between Snake and Flashpoint. My name is Vox, back on the mic again, alongside Hi-Rez Pretty Hair. Let's not beat around the bush. We've got 20 seconds to go. Let's break down the teams and the legendaries. It's gonna be Snake on the left-hand side of your screen, with Bird playing Mortal Reach Ceres, Bongar on Mother's Grace Inara, Thiel on Pluck Makoa, Lazy on Reprieve Eevee, and Dialer on Exaction Cassie yet again.
Cog for Flashpoint's gonna have Spirits Chosen for his Maldamba, Psybait on Androxus with Darkstalker, Phanex with a Combustible Drogos for the first time today, Accelerate for Fishko's Bomb King, and Architectonics for Sipha Cloud's Barrack.
You know, it's really interesting to see this Combustible Drogos come back in. We've seen so much of just the straight-up Fusillade Drogos since the lag compensation was introduced, and immediately a Fire Spit is soaked up by Inara. That's not going to do any damage, and Combustible really yet to come into play. Have to see if it comes out to full effect, but so far, Dial is putting the pressure on with a flank angle, finds the first blood onto Phanex, who's pulled out of the air by Makoa. There's a Grumpy Bomb behind them. They got to escape. There's a shield meeting them the other way. Down goes Dialer, 64 health remaining, cleaned up by Fishko, but still an even trade and capture advantage to 50 Shades of Snake.
Thiel with some pretty insane hooks throughout that, taking people out of the air, going for ones off the cliff right now. Thiel is on fire with this Makoa. Despite the nerfs here, Thiel still showing that this is by far and away his favorite champion. Look for another hook here, up into the air. Another one out of the sky. Thiel is on fire. This is his map. This is his champion.
And that's exactly it, right? Thiel loves Frog Isle and Makoa. There's so much kill potential off the edge of the map as well, and that's what Thiel has really made a name for himself trying to do. Sephic Cloud's going to contest momentarily, though. Gets poked out heavily by Ceres, but the turrets of Maldamba keep him alive. Inara is backed. Maldamba pulled into danger. Thiel very low, about to go down, but Bonka on this Inara is standing their ground. 50 Shades of Snake in the first capture of this game, and they are starting this payload push looking very strong.
Another kill coming through. Lazy finds 2. Thiel gets 1. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remain. Snack already off to the races. It's so dangerous to go up against this team on this map. I just feel like they have it figured inside and out. And part of that, I feel, just because they're played so well with momentum. They play so well from ahead. And once they get that lead, they are very, very hard to pull it away from.
Right, they know exactly how much they can push themselves, and now they're starting to pressure up against a wall, actually. Bonka trapped between a rock, and well, fortunately, a support on the other side of things. Ice Storm goes down into Sephic Cloud. They're going to be chewed through by that Stone Spear, and now Kokog forced to retreat just to land some support into Psybait. What's this? King Bomb from behind. Fishko going in deep, looks for the damage, pops that way too early, finds nobody. Phanex cleans up 1, but it's too little too late. The Combustible not finding enough damage to pick up a single kill there after the kill onto Lazy. They might find damage now onto Bonga, who is still, despite all this, staying alive, and whilst the push is stalling out because of respawns, Flashpoint, they're just not getting kill potential.
Seismic crash as well. Theo pulls in Phoenix and shuts him down. Doing a good job right now. Here's the convergence coming through, but a dome shield is going to pull everyone or prevent everyone from being pulled. So a nice dome shield there. Cloud sacrificing his life for the good of the cause here. Gets Seismic crashed out, but doing a great job. Cogcog's keeping him alive. As he goes down, though, how much longer can this barrack last?
Oh, the barrack's going to last for a little while longer if Cloud can keep on picking up frags like that. Theo taken down by Fishko as well, and the rest of the team is here to support. Lazy deep to the back line with their Eevee is going to take down Cybait. The respawn's starting to come through, and a nice ice block to immune that combustible damage is a good look. Interesting note, Nick. Combustible still applies the dot 3 of his ice block, so if she comes out of that too early, we'll still take quite a lot of damage from it. Whilst it's not as much of an issue with Reprieve, can end up being an issue if you pop out of that using Wormhole. So Lazy with the right legendary choice for the situation there.
Phoenix coming over the top of that Dragon Punch. He connects with Bonker. Good stuff there. Skunking the push here. Snek, it's going to take him that much longer now to get this push off. He will be respawning very shortly now, but it allows Flashpoint to get set up, get all the angles they want here, and Snek to be very predictable. There's nobody that can really sneak around. It's going to be all on Lazy to try and find the angle, to try and bust open this defense.
But how much do they need to sneak with Theo as Makoa on their team? They pull in Cloud, who takes a lot of damage, goes down to Bonker. Ancient Rage is activated here just to stay alive from Theo, and the push continues in overtime. Good wall. That does appear to be 50 Shades of Snake pushing themselves all the way through. Dyla picking up a triple kill right there at the end. Let's take a look at the itemization coming through from both teams as we do get ourselves into the swing of things. We're going to have Nick rejoining the call in just 1 second. Don't worry about a thing, folks. Minor technical hitch on our end, but that will be resolved very shortly. On your screen, though, you can see the itemization coming through from both of these teams, and you can see that we're seeing heavy cauterized pressure come out of 50 Shades of Snake. In fact, 4 members of their squad with cauterized so far, all at rank 2. That is now being matched by Cybait and Fishko, but on the other side of things, it is not going to be anywhere near as much. Phoenix, though, getting a Wrecker 2 online does mean that they are going to have some offensive pressure versus this Theal's Makoa shield, but that's not going to do much against Inara and Pretty Hair. Can you hear me? Do you read me as Theal's about to look for a pull off the map?
I do. He does. Blinking in now. Lazy's looking for it. Soars out of the way of that Grumpy Bomb. There it is. Cloud tries the Rocket Boots back on the map, but it's not going to save him this time around. Lazy continuing to keep pressure in the back line. A big grouping here. Could get punished by the Ice Storm.
And the Ice Storm is going to not come down. Not necessary right now. Lazy still holding on to that one. Could be used to lock down Phoenix a little later, but still, it's just not necessary. And Bird back on the objective is threading the needle with the Ceres Restore Souls right now to keep everybody alive, but it just doesn't seem that necessary as 50 Shades of Snake keep all of their opponents trapped in base. That will be as well. Theo going in big, looking for the damage, but isn't going to find any. Finds a lot of damage to his face instead. Now retreating will be Bird on Ceres, boxing out heavily with Fishko. Rensol could keep them alive. It will. Fishko one shot away from death. Bird with the outtrade, the outplay right there. 114 health remaining. Fishko absolutely choking in that objective fight, but still, we just don't have the point pressure. Flashpoint is holding that down. They've got a dome shield on the objective, but as Cloud is taken out by Bird with Rensol, it could go either way. Phoenix wipes out Dyla. The Cassie there, not the Inara which they needed. Out comes Convergence as well, pulls in 3. So much damage coming in from Bird. That's going to be the cleanup from 50 Shades of Snake, but the cleanup from the other team as well. Flashpoint comes through as well. It's neck and neck. It's match for match, but it's just one Drogos versus a Ceres and Inara. We're going to need Cloud here to contest, but Dyla has returned to the fight so far, looking for the damage onto Cloud, takes them down, and that'll be 50 Shades of Snake capturing the objective once again. And we do have as well, with Dyla just going down there, Snake having captured the objective, the payload pushing out very far forwards. Bonkar is going to be leading the charge here to a degree, and they found a fantastic angle for Inara in this little area of the map, able to put up their wall, block a lot of incoming fire, and then just expose the peripheral vision to the enemies where they can peek out, fire a few shots, and also come back in. And once again, Nick, I think you may be back in the call. Man, that last capture point just was so neck and neck towards the end. And it appears that we still are having a few more audio issues for the time being, folks. We'll try and get the result for the second game as we do go through. If Pretty Head does hear me at any point during this, we'll jump straight back into things. However, we do have a lot of damage once again coming out from this Inara on the objective. And look at the stats so far, relatively close to the bottom here. And in fact, the majority of the damage this game so far coming from Flashpoint, but it's damage that is being healed up by the 80,000 healing Ceres. And as the payload push continues, as Bird tries to go in, we're going to see Eevee blinking up and down. Conversions comes out to try and pull everybody in. The area damage only finding one, but Lazy still going for Drogo's in the backline. Killing spree as they hit the mid-air shot onto Phoenix. That's going to be Sidebait pulled in as well. Ice Storm comes out onto the objective. No, stumped out Grumpy Bomb, but it just doesn't matter. 50 Shades of Snake push the payload through, and they gain victory in game number 1. You will see as we go through to the scoreboard on your screen right here that we do have a few different stats to break down. Let's take a look at the eliminations to start off with. Far exceeding all of their enemies was 50 Shades of Snake. Only Bird falling lower there, but the 9 eliminations and the only 18,000 damage that they had is far made up for that in terms of the 82k healing. Now, we have attributed that healing push over Maldamba quite frequently to the presence of Inara on your team. When not affected by Cauterize by your Mother's Grace buffed Earthen Guard, you do effectively get a free 3,000 healing onto that champion as long as they have 3,000 health missing. And that's going to attribute for quite a lot of what we're seeing here. However, on the other side of things, there is just an overall deficit in eliminations, not damage, notably. It is eliminations coming through from Flashpoint Paladins. They were finding a lot of damage. They were finding a lot of pressure. We had 50k matched by 4 of their champions in damage, including Zephyrcloud on Barak, who's fallen off recently and fallen out of the meta in recent weeks in favor of the Inara pick. Still able to frag out, still able to dish out a world of pain to their opponents, but not able to finish off and close the kills. And that's going to be down to good positioning, good peel and reactive play coming out from this squad, 50 Shades of Snake, and they're able to pull themselves back into the fight and keep the all-important allies alive. Now, it's not the end of the set. We're only just beginning, folks. That was game number 1 of this best of 5 grand final set of the ESL May Finals for the Go4Paladins Europe Cup. On your screen right now, you can see the map draft once again, and it is gonna be Jaguar Falls where we're heading to next. So sit tight, stay tuned. We're gonna get Pretty Hair back in here as quickly as possible. We'll have a slightly longer break between games of 5 minutes just to go ahead and do so. And as soon as we are ready, and as soon as the players are able, we'll be jumping straight back into this set. So sit back, relax, enjoy the music, and stay tuned for game number 2 of this grand final set. Hello and welcome back, champions. Just giving you a quick update as to the status of the next game coming up in this ESL Go4Paladins Cup. 50 Shades versus Flashpoint. Game number 2 on Jaguar Falls unfortunately cannot be broadcast today due to a bug with the spectator system which is crashing us out of the clients when we do try and replay it. As a result, we'll let you know that it was 50 Shades of Snake that took game number 2. They're now currently 2 games up in the series, and we're going to be coming back into game number 3 on Brightmarsh very shortly. That game is currently underway, so we're going to have a 2-minute break whilst we get our spectator client sync up, and we're going to go straight into game number 3 on Brightmarsh between 50 Shades of Snake and Flashpoint Paladins to find out if Snake will take it all here or if Flashpoint can pull themselves straight back into the series. Hello and welcome back then, champions, to, as stated, game number 3 of this best of 5 grand final series between 50 Shades of Snake and Flashpoint Paladins. We're on to Brightmarsh. My name is Vox. I'm joined by Hyra's pretty hair. Let's check out the teams. It will be 50 Shades of Snake on the left-hand side, currently up 2 games, led by Bird, the Greedy with Ripen Gord Maldamba, Thiel on Plocamakoa, Bonka on Mother's Grace Inara, Lazy on Wormjet Struggles, really liking that legendary, and Darkstalker and Droxus for Dialer.
Flashpoint with their last chance to come back into this one. Mortal Reach for Cog Ceres, Exaction for Cybates, Cassie, Accelerant for Fishko's Bomb King, Flush Generator for Phoenix's Ruckus, Architectonics for Cephacloud's Barrack, with 3 Cauterizes, a Haven, and a Morale boost. Flashpoint look to take this first team fight.
Although round from behind, Lazy's coming in with a big flank as they do have high mobility with this Drogo so far. Looking for damage, finds shots through. Bonka takes down Phoenix as well. That's a front line away from Flashpoint Esports. Flashpoint Paladins, excuse me. And they're going to have to back away from this fight and give it up for the time being. 30% and rising for 50 Shades of Snake.
See if they can get it going here. Bonkar's getting pretty low here on the point, popping that Earthen Guard. He's going to need a heal, and soon. Got to get back here. Bird's going to be able to heal him up a little bit. Wall cooldown is available. Does he pop in? 116 health remaining. Bonkar is going to be barely alive here. This Maldamba's doing everything he can. He barely stays alive. Oh my goodness.
That's ridiculous, but that's the team play of 50 Shades of Snake coming through right there. Thiel going in to try and body block the last few shots. The Gord down, the Maldamba heal, and just Inara's innate tankiness keeps everybody alive. Great wall coming out as well. The impasse blocks off all incoming damage. The heal from Maldamba is good. Phoenix has returned to the fight as well as Cassie as well. Watch out for that side 8 damage, but nobody's focusing down Bonka. They're all looking around the outside of the map, but they might just find the kills now as Bomb King goes up and finds nobody.
Grumpy Bomb comes through. Flashpoint control the point right now, 75% and climbing. So gonna have to make a move here soon. Thiel's positioning like he wants to get it done, but it's gonna have to be a last second maneuver. Here comes the convergence, gonna be immune out. Good wall here, could separate a big portion of this team, but can 50 Shades of Snake find it with already 3 members falling?
And that's going to be so much damage coming through from the Bomb King as well. Fishko currently Actually, not sitting at the top of those charts. That will be going through to Cybate, but the zone now coming up, following through on that convergence is phenomenal from Flashpoint. They gain the first capture of this game, number 3, and they're going to start this payload push rolling. They're going to try and break through the defense of 50 Shades of Snake. So far, it is just Cybate sitting on the objective that we're following right now as Cassie rolling around the peripheral of this fight, trying to get things done. Pulled in by Theo. Looks like they might be shut down, but staying alive momentarily. No, at last. They do go down to the Makoa here, and they have been punished for their positioning misplay. Theo now still trying to follow up with damage onto Ruckus. A little bit out of position here. Grumpy Bomb not used. That's going to be a King Bomb coming through. Finds Thiel out in one of these little peripheral rooms. 2 bombs down, but Thiel's still staying alive. He's so tanky and he's on a gore. There's no cauterize applied to him from Fishko, who's going straight into Haven here as Bomb King. And at last, Phoenix will be the one to clean them up. Bonka now the next target after being stunned out by that Grumpy Bomb. Poppy Bomb placed and advanced by Fishko. Lazy Poppy Bombs that straight into a ceiling, but it doesn't matter. They still clean up Bird. Grumpy Bomb goes out of zone. Somebody's going to have to soak that and immune it. Convergence use will be blocked by Thiel's shield for the time being, but Flashpoint pushed that through. Unwilling to contest a 50 Shades of Snake, and they just give that one right up. So far, itemization-wise, 50 Shades of Snake, despite being down 2-0 on the objective, they still got their level 2 offensive items online for 2 of their members at least. Lazy and Bonka dishing out a lot of damage and playing the objective very heavily in that past game. Have stacked up enough credits to do just that, but Flashpoints, they're pulling miles ahead of their opposition. Look at the net worth chart here. We've got 1,500 credits plus for the Ruckus, leading the charge here. Ceres following up very shortly as well, and that'll enable all of Flashpoints to get not just their primary itemization online, but a little bit of, should we say, vanity itemization online. They're looking for the Haven 1 or the Haven 2. They're looking for the Kronos in Cybate's case, who's now able to also get the Cauterize 2 online as well, and Cog is only 300 credits away from Morale Boost 3. We've already seen how impactful these convergences is. Bright Marsh being a map which 50 Shades of Snake have commonly really seen as theirs. We'll have to see if Flashpoint can take it away from them, but as Lazy picks up first blood in this second round with the kill on the Fishko, it's looking good for the team in blue so far. Another step forward, tries to find the damage. 3 headshots in a row from Dyla on a Seven Cloud. That's Barrack obliterated, 800 plus every single wrecked dart firing straight into the dwarf's head, and that'll clean them completely out of this objective. Phoenix contesting momentarily will go down. Reversal is huge from Androxus, not finding the kill potential as Fishko does get the turnaround, but are pulled straight in by Thiel. And even though they won't fall, because they're healing from Ceres, it just doesn't matter. Flashpoint Paladins lost that payload push. They now have to retreat, set up their defenses as 50 Shades of Snake are starting to barrel down the highway. Lazy comes in with a big salvo, gains about 10% ultimate charge from it as well. Dragon Punch is going to be ready very shortly if they keep on hitting all of these shots, getting all of that damage. And even though they have to get away from Phoenix on this rock as they're continuing to keep up the pressure, really utilizing this high mobility Drogos so well when we're so used to seeing at this point the Fusillade Drogos really take priority. And Wormjets is confusing. There's no primary anti-air counter on Flashpoint. The best anti-air counter they have is currently a Ruckus. So Wormjets is not, whilst it's going to leave Lazy at a little bit of a damage deficit, it's going to allow him to stay alive so much easier. And as Thiel and Dyla clean up Fishko and Cybate, and the push continues, we can see that Ceres' healing is certainly not enough to stop all of that damage coming through from the Dragon. Lag-compensated high-mobility Drogos looking for the frag. Gets 2 in a row as Phoenix will also fall, and that'll be the push continuing. 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. No sign of it slowing, no sign of contest so far. Ultimates are online for Flashpoint, as they are Snake, and it's going to be a King Bomb that comes in, trying to kick things off. The damage is good, but CC immune is Inara. Bonka, staying alive so far, is still holding down the front line. Back in the back line, Lazy going to be going up and down, finally taken out by Fishko, who's going to be looking for damage onto Bonka, finds the shots round the corner, double kill for Fishko on Bomb King. That'll stem the pressure coming out from 50 Shades of Snake, and still it is relentless from this Bomb King. 3 in a row, takes down Bird as well, looks for Thiel and Dyla round on the backside of the map. Thiel has escaped, goes straight through to Lazy, who will try and keep him safe, but round the corner, 4 in a row for Fishko, looking for a 5th, as in comes Dyla. Sephi Cloud has their back though. They say 1v1, no, we'll make that 2v1, and it's just 50 Shades of Snake being forced back to their base. They have no way out, and with 30 seconds remaining, they have to regroup, find an initial opening pick, and get back to the payload if they want to look to equalize here. It's going to come from Lazy around the side, but they've been spotted out. Bonka could try and hold this one down. Deal with Fishko here, but it's just not happening. Hypermobile and Poppy Bomb looking for Lazy. Will be Fishko, and actually pull in his Phoenix here as well. Damage going to be good onto them. Fire Spit huge from Lazy as well. Takes down Fishko so low. Bonka cleans them up. Back on the objective. Seismic Crash is available, but can be immune by Shadow Travel here. Phoenix taking a lot of damage. Cauterized 3 already with a mid-round buy from Bonka as well. Means that a healing isn't very effective. Nice impasse, just a stall, but Bonka is running out of support. The Grumpy Bomb is down. Mother's Embrace Earthen Guard activated to immune that CC. The healing coming through from Aldamba is supreme. Seismic Crash still available. Could be comboed here. No conversions used just yet from Ceres. Still not on cooldown. We saw that used previously to really help win team fights, but it is just the red team coming out on top. Flashpoint Paladins defend successfully, and that will be 3-1 on the objective score for them so far. Mid-round itemization coming through once again. We noted specifically the mid-round buy coming through from Bonka was supreme in that last engagement. Able to really keep on chipping down Ruckus thanks to the Cauterized 3 pressure, even when Ceres was dropping the full heal onto them. And we do see now as well that they have picked up a Master Riding, as well as Bird going in for a Deft Hands here. Little bits of extra augmentation coming out from all of these teams. They're going for the utility now. They're going for the offensive if they haven't already got the offensive items. The defensive, Phoenix the only one so far in this game to pick up a healing item. With the Rejuvenate, trying to stop that Cauterize from being quite so effective on them, as their personal shield does not prevent debuff effects. Sephic Cloud going to be pushing in here. Cassie Scout revealing all enemies. Bomb King coming in big with a King Bomb round the corner. Shuts down Lazy. Down they go to Fishko, trying to find a double kill, but reversal is big. Convergence is better though. Cog pulls in 3. They all will fall, and that'll be the 5th going through as Phoenix takes down Bonker. Nice heals on the objective. Flashpoint Paladins coming out once again on top, and they could cap and win this game number 3 if they just out-sustain their opponents here. 50 Shades of Snake getting picked off one by one. Dyla looking for the Accursed Arm from above, does not find the damage. The Revolver going around the outside of the map, looking for a way to get in here. Phoenix is going to take some chip poke. That's Cauterized 3 on you there, Phoenix. You've got to get out of that situation if you want to soak a heal, but it will be the Dread Serpent used to kick things off. Flashpoint Paladins are getting met with their match as Fishko is taken out around the backside of this objective by Dyla. Reversal is big, but not quite big enough. Phoenix takes out Dyla there, excuse me, but Bonker is just sustaining on the objective. The Maldamba heal too much with their Mother's Embrace. Buffed Earthen Guard sustaining through all of that damage, and now Impasse is ready. 99% for Flashpoint Paladins, but they may have just met their end here. 50 Shades of Snake contesting are leading with Theo. Ancient Rage activated into the face of 3. It'll buy some time, but it's not going to zone out entirely. Melted far too quickly will be the rest of that health, and Theo must retreat towards their Maldamba if they want to stay alive. Gaze into the abyss, says Cog, trying to pull in the enemies, but it just doesn't matter. Nobody contests from the red team. 50 Shades of Snake capture the 3rd objective in this game. With the payload push starting to pick up here. Damage is coming out from the squad in red here. Looking onto Bonkar will be Cog. Their Soul Orbs doing a lot of damage, and eventually finding the kill in combination with Cybait. It'll be a good look again to set up an aggressive defense here from Flashpoint Paladins. We saw how effective that was in the previous round when Fishko managed to pick up 4 kills in a row, went absolutely huge, and then ended up overextending slightly, allowing 50 Shades of Snake to try and close the gap back towards the objective. And again, it seems that overextension is the name of the game here, as every member of Flashpoint Paladins is now isolated. Rocket Boots won't take Barrack back that far. Impasse is available, but it's going to be the Waters Field that goes down from Bonker just to lock their opponents away. That slow coming out, even though it's a small area effect, highly effective. Cursed Arm coming out as well. A Cursive Arm? Can we have an Androx's pen skin, please? I'd love to see that. But still, Cybait hit with the Cauterized 3 won't be taking much healing coming through from Ceres. The damage is good, though, in response from Cog, as Dyla, again, overextended this time from Snake, will be eliminated in the backline. And with the payload push continuing, we will see the double front line of Flashpoint Paladins pushing out to try and stall. But Barrack is around behind. They're not setting up the barricade to try and protect their team. Phoenix is going to soak a lot of damage coming through from Lazy. And up in the air, this hypermobile Drogos with Wrecker 3 equipped now makes short work of Emitter and continues to drop damage towards the objective. Dread Serpent used to blow everybody apart. Fire Spit, not going to find any purchase thanks to that barricade coming through from Sephic Cloud, but the rockets around the corner will Gog and Sephic Cloud fall. 50 Shades of Snake, 2 to 3, looks to equalize everything here, as with 40 seconds to go, they are bare meters away from the objective. Dragon Punch is ready, but Phoenix takes so much damage from Thiel, it just doesn't matter. The respawns are in favor of the red team here, though. Flashpoint has started to stabilize, the front line is back down. Sephic Cloud pushing out Cybait with their Cassie, looking for the damage onto Bird, and with the respawn proximity advantage. No, 50 Shades of Snake push successfully. The backdoor payload push coming through there at the end as Flashpoint overextend once again. It's now 3 to 3 on the objective. With 30 seconds to go before the next round comes in, Flashpoint must be kicking themselves. Full itemization coming through this stage in the game. 13 minutes on the clock and rising so far. It's Morale Boost 3 Ceres for Cog, and with their convergence at the ready, it may all come down to the ultimate wombo combos from both teams. With a quick look at the KDAs as well. As far as Flashpoint versus 50 Shades of Snake can go, we're seeing again a consistency issue with Flashpoint. So far it's 20, 10, and 9 is Fishko right now. Everybody else falling relatively far behind in the KDA, with Fishko really leading the charge there, whereas consistency across the board from 50 Shades of Snake is much more there. But King Bomb is the name of the game. It's coming in as looking for Thiel. The damage is there, and it's good. But Ruckus will try and answer back after Fishko gets taken down, finding nothing as Lazy just keeps on fragging. This Drogo's going insane, peppered by shots from Architectonic's Barrack. It just doesn't matter. They escape to the objective. The wrecked shots coming through, but Bonkar locks off the angle there with their impasse and sets up. Seismic Crash is available. The retreat is good. Earthen Guard is ready if they need a contest. Maldamba must be there to heal them, and the healing will be coming through. Ancient Rage from Thiel on the objective rips through the backline here as their push just continues. Sephic Cloud, one hit away, goes down to the Ancient. Bonkar back to the objective. Impasse at the ready. Also, their Seismic Crash at the ready as well if they need to shut down Fishko. 57% and rising on this objective for 50 Shades of Snake. Only 21% for Flashpoint. Now above 70, Flashpoint must contest. But they still only have one ultimate available. The Impasse, misplaced by Bonkar there, allows Ruckus to snip onto the objective. Seismic Crash activated, and that's going to be a massive shutdown as Lazy finds 2 with a Fire Spit. The CC immunity coming through as Lazy finds a 3rd in a row. Looking for a 4th, was perfectly time. Lazy, triple kill, finds no quadra. Dialer steals that away, but overtime is ticking, and that's going to be 50 Shades of Snake with the game. Number 3, they take the game, they take the set, they take the series, and they take first place in the ESL Go4Paladins May monthly finals of 2017. And whilst we do have a scoreboard on screen for you now, ladies and gentlemen, we do have to make a remark there. We do apologize. It was Pretty Hair who dropped out of our VoIP call right there and was unable to continue the conversation. But I think the players pretty much spoke for themselves. And with that in mind, everybody, let's just take a quick look at some of the numbers coming through in this game. No Fusillade for Lazy, but still topping the damage charts on Drogo's. Hypermobility, the name of the game, and with no anti-air counter coming out from Flashpoint, had free reign that game to do as much as they wanted. Fishko on the side of Flashpoint following up shortly, but still unable to just get the kill potential in that last fight. Redirected their damage towards Thiel, who could easily soak a 2500 damage King Bomb at close range and did not find kill potential onto the all-important tank. May have been better if they just cancelled the King Bomb early or relocated looking for a squishy rather than trying to chase down Makoa. And on the other side of things, the follow-up and the sustain coming through from the squad of 50 Shades of Snake, once again with Bird on Maldamba here, is formidable. But that will close things out, folks. That will do it for today. This has been the final match of the day of 50 Shades of Snake versus Flashpoint Paladins in the ESL Go4 May monthly finals. Before we do go, we want to shout out quickly that on your screen right now, you can see that we do have ESL North America Rise of the Champions Cup information. That'll be going on later today. That starts at 7 p.m. EDT. So if you're a North American player, you've been enjoying the ESL Paladins action, make sure you tune in to that and also sign up. And you can sign up by visiting esl.pm/Paladins ESL. You can find out information about our cups going on in all of our different regions there. As far as everything else goes though, my name has been Vox. I have been joined by Hi-Res Pretty Hair. briefly, I think we should say today, but also rain day as well. I do want to personally apologize for some of the audio issues that we experienced earlier into this broadcast, which have now since been resolved. Hopefully next week we'll be coming back in fresh and we will have no further issues regarding that. But once again, thank you so much for bearing with us, and thank you so much for tuning in today. This isn't the end of Competitive Paladins for the week, however. We've got one more week, if I'm not mistaken, of open bracket competition for the qualifiers to the Summer Premier Circuit. And that'll be coming up this weekend. If you're interested in finding out more information about that, visit esports.paladins.com. Also, make sure that if you're a console Paladins player and you're looking at getting involved in the competitive circuit, visit esports.paladins.com. Get involved in the console wars right now. We had the start date deferred by a week, so that'll be kicking off for the very first time this upcoming weekend, and I am thrilled to be able to be in close contact with the guys from Paladins World. Shout out to Dave and Kenneth, who are running things as admins for that behind the scenes, and I cannot wait to see how that all goes. But yes, as we've said, that is the end of the broadcast for today. That will do things here, folks. And once again, thank you so much all for tuning in. 50 Shades of Snake is your winner for this week. And, well, we'll be back again next week with more ESL Paladins Go4 Cup action with more open bracket competition. And once again, if you're interested in getting signed up and involved, visit esl.pm/Paladins ESL. From everybody here, we wish you good night.
exactly what I need. I'm talking like a machine. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I need. But do you get what I mean? Oh, what you looking at? What you looking at? Why keep me standing over here? I'm purring like a cat. Oh, what you looking at? What you looking at? I'm irresistible. I'm deadly like that. 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 When you come and get me, boy, I'm deadly like that. I look at kills and know my skills. Hard to get, makes no threat. I push it on a little more. I'm the girl you die for. I want it fast, want it now. Lipstick on my cheek, want your teeth on my neck. Kiss me, I'm a nervous wreck. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I need. I'm not ashamed what I feel. Oh, what you